Jerks, how you doing? Happy Wednesday, right? It is Wednesday. Hump day. It's been a few days, a few nights. I'm enjoying the time off. We had a great family dinner last night, so I enjoyed that and just keeping at it. We've got a lot of dog walks right now. A lot of things happening right now for me, but the show must go on. We're definitely yeah. My hair looks nicer. I put some product in there. I don't know if you noticed. My hair's getting long. I put some product in, and I don't usually do that because I'm kind of punk rock, but when it gets unruly, sometimes I do that, and I notice people like it. So I'm doing what you like. I'm trying to please over here. We aim to please at the young jerks. So, what's up, everyone? My name is Mike Crawford. If you're first time here, please like, subscribe, follow. We're just waiting for people to check in. We're running a couple minutes late. That's mostly because of me. I was running around. Charlie got a loaf of bread tonight. You don't even know. He didn't eat any. It's a cleaning day. When we have the cleaners here, we take down all the barriers, and we forgot to put one of the barriers up, and he gets right into the kitchen counter. He's bad. He's a bad dog. We love it. Charlie's having the time of his life. He loves the clean house, so we're happy the cleaners came. But we had to get all set up, and we got a big show today. We got a lot of content to go over. We're going to be talking about Enrique Delgado Garcia tonight and his death and the Mass State Police and the cover up. I call this a cover up because that's really what this is. It is a total and complete cover up of what happened. And the truth is starting to come out. There's, I think, 4 Massachusetts State Police officers who are under indictment for this. Manslaughter is the charge. And some of them are also up in perjury, Jennifer Penton. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We have the guy who's been covering this from the get-go. He's taken this up. He did a billboard for it. Matt, remember the billboard? Out of his own money. He didn't raise money from everybody else. Didn't have like a Kickstarter or whatever. He just took his own money and got a billboard for Enrique Delgado Garcia because he wanted to make sure that this thing gets swept out of the rug. And I think because of that, big part of what he did, getting the word out with that billboard and making a lot of noise on it and getting retired Mass State Trooper Todd McGee on his show to talk about it over and over again. I think it led to an independent investigation from David Meyer, and that's where we have indictments of these Mass State police officers. So I give him a lot of props for this because I think he's been the one who has taken a lot of shit and he's championed for the family. And there is no video. You were lied to, troll in the chat. You were lied to. There was no video. Maybe you should look into why they lied to you and what was the lie. Maybe Brian wants to even talk about that lie. I don't know. I think he's probably already talked about it before, but there was no video. You were lied to. And he's protected this family. The family definitely appreciates him. Pretty sure they're very thankful that he's showing up to court covering this. He's got all the exclusive video recently outside of court of Jennifer Penton, Casey Lamonte. He's been right there. He's got the lawyers speaking. And I like the way he handles himself outside of court too. So I'm very excited. He's got a great channel. People already know about it. LTL Media is the YouTube channel. He's also got a website. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you're following Brian. Welcome back to the show tonight, Brian. LTL Media. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up? Now I have all this pressure. You put all this pressure on me. There's the big buildup. But
it's gonna be a big build out because the trolls are all here. I love it. Like you and I together tonight.
They love this, Mike.
BLT and Mike Cryford on a show together tonight. They're gonna be so upset, these trolls tonight.
I love this, Mike. But thanks for having me back on. It's been quite a while, and I think the last time we spoke, or the last time I was on your show was when we had Senator, and his last name is slipping my mind, but we actually talked about the Enrique Delgado Garcia case with him. Look, we're now 19 months later since this incident happened at the Mass State Police Academy. And I think that, David Meyer, the special investigator and now special prosecutor, has done a phenomenal job. And I can tell you this is that the family is very happy with the progression and the work that David Meyer has done in this case. And I am too. And I got to be honest with you, Mike. I think that, when this case first initially happened and we heard about it, and the kind of the slowing of the investigation when Meyer took over, I didn't really understand the process. And you got to start looking at these things when you have lawyers and union representatives than when they get involved. And that tends to slow everything down. And now that we found out over 150 witnesses were, interviewed in this case, and that's why it took so long. But, from reading through the statement of the Commonwealth and what David Meyer has found out about this investigation, and believe me, there's going to be more that comes out in court about this if we get to court and we don't start seeing one of the four roll over on each other, or maybe possibly all of them take plea deals. But I think more will come out in court about this case. But I couldn't be more happier that we're at this point right now. And, things look like it's rolling really well at this point. I think you're froze.
It's me.
Can you hear
You
me?
there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I thought you were freezing, and then I saw my screen freeze. It was me. Um, you were fine though. I mean, I was gripped on every word because you really get into it already. My first, the first thing I'll say is that state senator was Michael Moore. I had to look it up to make sure.
Yes.
He's been
Thank
on the
you.
show a couple of times. He's a good guy. There's a couple Michael Moores at the State House, but there's also the documentary guy. Remember Michael? It's funny. A lot of Michael
Yeah.
Moores
Bowling for
out there.
Columbine. Bowling for
Yeah.
Columbine.
And I think there's two state senators who are Michael Moore or something like that at the State House. So it's funny. But yeah, so anyways, I mean, one of the first things that you brought up tonight was the chance of these folks. There's four of them, right? Four police officers,
Yeah,
state
you got
police who are up.
four troopers. You got Lieutenant Jennifer Penton. She's been charged with voluntary manslaughter, and there's a second undercharge, which is like basically irresponsible in an exercise environment. And then you have she's also facing a charge of perjury, and we can get into that as well. You have Trooper Edwin Rodriguez. He's got a pretty extensive pro boxing career or record, and he's part of the defensive tactics unit was at the Mass State Police Academy. You have Trooper David Montanez that is facing charges as well, another defensive tactic part of that team as well. And then you have Trooper Casey Lamont, and Casey Lamont is also I think he's pro or semi-pro jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu expert technician or whatever. And he's part of the defensive tactics unit as well. And, the thing about this is when you hear about this, it's failed leadership is the major thing that we're seeing here. I still think there's going to be more things that come out. We've heard about racism at the academy. I've talked to a former state trooper that has talked a lot about that, off the record. And I think, some of that may come out in trial.
Wow, the racism stuff. That's the first time we've hearing about that part of it, which is not surprising, but it's the first time I've heard anyone really mention that in relation to this. Do you think you mentioned some of them possibly could take plea deals? Do you think that will happen? Is there any indication they might be leaning that way?
Well, I don't have any indication at this point, but I think once their defense counsel start getting discovery and we know there's 350 pieces of evidence in this case, I mean, that's massive. That's a massive amount of evidence. And I think once they get the grand scope of all of that and start looking at it, you may see something like that. I mean, it's just my opinion, but you may see something like that.
Totally. And I wonder, like you said, if one of them flips on each other. It seems like one of them might already flipped, even the supervisor of the supervisors, right? I mean, somebody above them, it seems like, is that right?
Yeah, I
Possibly
mean,
kind
you
of
got to
flipped on them.
start thinking. You have 150 witnesses. You have to start thinking that there's people inside that academy that came forward and actually did the right thing. They spoke up. I mean, there was a lot of witnesses to that actual event, the Boxing Day event, and witnesses that were, there on the day prior to the unauthorized boxing match. So there was two sessions. You had the day prior that was unauthorized, where basically 38 recruits got in a room. They were all paired up, and they basically just boxed against each other. And that was unauthorized, and a lot of people got hurt, especially Enrique Delgado Garcia. And the problem with that is that he was basically matched up with the most skilled fighter in the class. That shouldn't have happened, and that's where you have Penton, Rodriguez, Montanez, and Lamont, where they should have been supervising and evaluating. Evaluating immediately when these recruits come into the academy, mentally, physically, and making
Skills.
sure that this doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mike. I'm
especially
sorry.
boxing. Like, because I think you know this. I was a wrestler in high school, college, USA
Yeah,
wrestling, and a coach. So I coach kids, and we dealt with this daily. We any wrestling team, you line up the kids against the wall, and the coach comes along. This is when you're doing your workouts. You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, oh 3.
right.
You basically set up the three guys who are going to wrestle each other, and it's in their little sparring partners into the circle, and you want to make sure the matchups are good. Like you don't take your most experienced guy and have him wrestle someone inexperienced. That's not helping anyone. That's getting the inexperienced guy hurt. It's crushing his morale. He's probably going to quit. Like, and it's not helping the experienced guy. You want them to have a good matchup. And sometimes when there's not somebody, like a lot of times we might have a heavyweight, a light heavyweight who's just too strong and experienced and big for the rest of the kids, then a coach like me would wrestle them, and usually any, a coach, especially if you were on the college level or Olympic level or whatever,
Right.
there's no high school kid who can hang with you, even the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why when I say, I was beating John Cena's brothers up, that's because they were in high school and I was graduating college. You know what I mean? Like, when we were both at the same age, they were probably going to kick my ass. Let's be serious, because they were beasts. But
Well,
that's the key. Like, high school kids aren't going to be able to compete against the coach, so you'd have a coach jump in there. I wonder on this, like, why didn't you get, like you said, you got this guy Casey who's a champion in jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, like it's like judo, so he's combat sports, he knows what he's doing. And then you have this other professional boxer who went the distance with a champion. He had
yeah,
a championship.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is a real good boxer. Like, he's not even like good on the local level, he's good on the national
He's a
level. Like, this
nasty
guy,
boxer. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
he did good against Andre Ward. Like, that was a really good
Yeah,
fight. I
and
watched
that's
that
what kind
fight.
of makes it
So
even more.
why didn't they jump in? Why
Yeah,
weren't they like, this is not a good matchup. We'll box this guy. Like, why doesn't Rodriguez or Lamonte jump in there and take, spar with the guy? It just doesn't
yeah,
make
and that's
sense
what
to me.
and that's what even makes it worse about this is knowing their knowledge and background of the sport. They should have known better. They should have known better in this. And like I said, I was going back to that, recruits, from what I've learned and had these conversations with Todd McGee on my channel. Recruits are supposed to be evaluated constantly, medically, physically, mentally, as they go through the academy. And what we're finding out here is it looks like that didn't happen. And then, I mean, even Todd said on my show as well too, and he ran the boxing program there, I think, for like 8 or 9 years. He helped write the operational aspect of that portion of the academy as well too. And he said that with someone that's skill level that Delgado Garcia fought, that recruit should not have been fighting at all. He should have just been pulled aside because of situations like this that can happen. And clearly, Delgado Garcia was overmatched. Not as far as stature and weight, because the recruit was much smaller in stature, but in that physicality role, he was the most skilled fighter in the class. I mean, he definitely, in my opinion, from what I know, definitely had some fighting background.
It takes like at least a couple weeks even to get like even the grasp of just the beginning basics in any type of combat
Yeah,
sport. It's just like,
yeah,
in a season, usually a season or two, that's how you can really like jump ahead. But geez, like that's what we would have been doing as coaches. We would have taken, like, if you have no experience, like, we're just teaching you the basics over here. We'll let the advanced guys, they'll go at it. These
Right.
new guys, we're going to teach them the basics so that they can at least protect themselves. And it's just wild to me that nobody, I don't know. I just that doesn't make sense to me. I can remember my senior year in high school. I had a kid come in from Florida who came in and said he was going to take my spot, take my varsity spot. He was talking
Sure.
shit all fall, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I'm thinking I'm going to win a league title that year. I'm going to do all this, and I'm like, is this kid going to take my spot? And so the first day of practice, we go at it, and I fucking destroy him. He's full of shit. He was not a good wrestler in
Right.
Florida or whatever. And it was like within 5 minutes, my coach was like, "You're not wrestling him again." Like that, because my coach thought like the kid
He's
was
protecting
legit too,
you.
because the
Yeah,
way
he's
he was
protecting the
talking.
guy.
But
Yep.
as soon as he saw what was going on, he was
Right.
like, "No, boo, you're in a different grouping. You're not wrestling him anymore." I mean, that's what you do. There was one kid that got hurt under my watch, who I felt like was a good matchup against somebody else, and the kid blamed me after because he was like, "That kid's a beast." I'm like, "So are you though? You're a beast too." Like I didn't mean to hurt you. Like the kid got
Right.
hurt in practice. Like you feel so horrible when that happens. And, like especially a kid you want on your team. Like all of a sudden you got a hole in the middle of of the team because a guy got hurt, cracked his ribs. I mean, this happens with guys who are really good, wrestling each other. And you put someone in there that doesn't know what they're doing, or boxing's even worse because boxing, at least in wrestling, the hits are really coming down on your
Right.
head or getting dropped on your neck, that type of shit, or someone coming across and hitting you in the face. But no one can just punch you in the,
Yeah.
like that's boxing. MMA is even worse because someone can just punch you straight in the head, and you really can't do that in wrestling. And that's why boxing, to me, and that type of fighting is even more dangerous than what I'm talking about, which is wrestling, which I know a lot about. But I just
Yeah.
don't get it. I just don't get
And,
it with
and
especially boxing.
yeah, and even the rising sport that we're seeing, and I see clips of all the time. I'm like, these people are even fucking crazier than boxers. Is that slap?
Slap.
The slap
Oh,
fighting, dude. That's an
that
open
should,
hit
I don't
slap,
understand
bro.
how they allow that. How do they
That's
allow that?
crazy. I mean, that'll kill you faster than probably a boxing hit. At least a boxing
Totally.
hit, you got a glove on, but that is an open hand slap, bro.
And in boxing, you have defense too. Like, because
Of
good
course.
boxers, the thing is, you're putting
Yeah, yeah.
you're hoping it gets deflected or it doesn't hit all the way. And that thing, you just got to sit there and take it. I could not do that. I'd be like, you're not hitting me. I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not
Right.
taking a hit from you. Are you shitting me? That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to get slapped across the face. That's crazy. But yeah, to me, that's what bugs me so much in this. And we have Leah, who is a former Mass State police officer who went through the training program
Yeah.
at that academy, and she said a few things here that, um, which I think I starred some of them. Hold on one second. I want to make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, cool.
Here it is. Here's the first one. She said they made me fight a
That's
black
crazy.
belt.
Fucking crazy.
I want to know, did you have any experience, Leah, in like combat sports or black belt, kung fu, anything,
Probably not.
judo, anything? Have you ever wrestled? Like, because if that's the case, that's ridiculous. That should not. I mean, you could have somebody who's a black belt teaching you some moves, drilling with you, maybe going half speed on you, even
Yeah.
my coaches were Olympic level. They never went all out on me, even though, I was probably the smallest guy they would wrestle because they were more heavyweights. I was more of a middleweight, but, they would just wrestle a little bit better than me, just to make me a little better. That's really what should be going on here. Nobody should be trying to destroy each other in practice. I just wonder,
Yeah, I want to let everybody
that's
know
wild.
because there was a question that Natalie asked, and she asked about, where they were wearing the protective gear. Yes, I mean it looked like, the gear they had on, they had headgear on, they had gloves on, uh, uh, and all the protective gear that they would have to have this type of simulated boxing match. And going back to like the day before, so September 11th was the unauthorized boxing match. So basically what happened was, the most skilled fighter was paired up with another recruit or trainee in the class. That guy, after some of the sessions during that morning, saw that this guy had the top skill in the class. Was like, fuck that, I'm not boxing this guy. So basically, Enrique volunteered to box with this guy. So he ended up boxing against him. And then after the unauthorized boxing match, made complaints to recruits and staff that his head didn't feel right. He felt like he lost some of the day. So what I'm guessing is at this point, because of the trauma that he took during this unauthorized boxing match, and this is just my opinion, that's probably where he was concussed. That's probably where his and what we initially find out in the medical examiner's report, that he had bleeding on the brain. So that possibly could have started that day before. And we're obviously going to hear more about that in trial when they start to talk about all the medical aspects of what happened. But he wasn't properly medically evaluated afterwards, and he was allowed to continue to go into the 12th. Now, on the 12th, they have the authorized boxing day, and this is part of the actual overall program. So day before, not part of the program. The day of, on the 12th, that's part of the program. So now they put Enrique in against the most skilled fighter again, and they're allowed to have this match. 2 rounds, 1 minute each, and he is violently knocked down quite a few times in the first round. There's opportunities here now to stop this match, but they allow it to continue. And then they have their 60-second break. They go into the second round. As they're in the break, the more skilled fighter recruit comes back to the center of the mat, and I also want to kind of quash that. In the initial reports, they kept saying there's a ring. They fought in a ring. They didn't. They fought on the actually gym mats inside the academy. So the most skilled, the skilled fighter recruit comes over, and he's up probably off his stool about 20 or 30 seconds into the rest. Well, Delgado Garcia's on his stool, and he's bent over. And he's, so there's opportunities here where that staff should have came over and medically cleared him or stopped the fight. Had multiple times to stop this fight. They allow him to get up. There's about 10 to 20 seconds of the second round, and Delgado Garcia is knocked down with a 1-2 punch, and it's very bad. It's bad what happened to him. Yeah. I don't know if you froze again, Mike.
I was muted. I assume when you say that there's, thank you for getting, being back on track. I'm infamous for the muting. You know that.
It's all right.
Sarah's laughing in the chat. I saw Sarah earlier. Sarah, that's one. I'm back to square one. But was there video? Because I'm guessing there was probably some video of this fight.
It's been talked about. I've seen the video. I will never ever reveal my source, because that's not what journalists do. I don't put my sources out there. If you want to call me a journalist or whatever, but someone came forward. I have seen the video. The video now has been talked about in some of these press conferences. So that's been mentioned. What they basically do is film all these simulate, these boxing matches on GoPros. So it's shot on a GoPro. It's a single camera, and for whatever reasons, and probably for reasons like this. But the failure was this. So the failure to intervene by the four supervisors. But here's where it gets really ugly and complicated. So in the investigation, what they find, and this is what the Commonwealth states in their findings, and so Jennifer Penton, Lieutenant Penton, is interviewed by by Massachusetts State Police. She sits down for a 4-hour investigation, and they get her statement, and they actually go to the grand jury, and they start asking her a series of questions. And what has come to be revealed is, when Delgado Garcia is knocked down, and there's the medical response on the 12th, and he's actually being, taken by gurney, he's going to be driven to UMass Worcester. In that time, several recruits, and this is what the Commonwealth is alleging, several recruits come forward and notify her and let her know that the day before, in the unauthorized match, Delgado Garcia complained about his head. Now, this is critical information that should be passed to the hospital. They should know about this because he could have had a prior injury the day before or a concussion the day before. So this changes now the medical response. So she has, with the Commonwealth saying it has this information. She goes into the grand jury. They ask her the questions, and they catch her allegedly in several lies. So now she's committed perjury. And also, what we find out, as Delgado Garcia is being brought to UMass Medical, the Commonwealth is alleging that Casey Lamont, that is in charge of the scheduling, he goes back and edits the prior day before the unauthorized match to make it look like it's part of the training. So now there's your cover. There's your alleged cover up.
That was on the day before. The day before. Wow.
Right. On the unauthorized match. So now they're trying to make it look like, well, that training was part of the initial training because, you know, if he was initially hurt in the first fight, the unauthorized match was not supposed to happen. So they went back and tried to make it look like it was part of the routine.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is so dumb. She is so dumb to do that. Why would she do that? Who asked her to do that? I wonder. Who's she trying to cover up for? Was there an athletic trainer there? Because, you know, I look back, I've had concussions. Definitely had, like, the one that was definitely documented was at Bridgewater State when I was at practice. I was wrestling a guy named Mike Conley. What's his name? Doesn't matter. But he's from Framingham. Bunch of Conley guys who were great wrestlers from.
There's no one in Massachusetts.
Connery. I gotta say it right. Connery. I gotta say it right. He's out there. Mike Connery, a great guy. He was a guy who he had a full scholarship at Springfield College, got in some trouble, lost his scholarship, ended up at Bridgewater State College wrestling, similar to me, but he was a little older than me. I had gotten in a little trouble too. That's why I ended up at Bridgewater State College and didn't get a scholarship too. And it's funny because we were both like the best wrestlers on the team at that point, and he was older than me, so he was like, and he used to buy alcohol for me. So I loved him. He gave me a concussion. So anyways, he gives me a mild concussion in practice. And the athletic trainer, I was so mad. I was so angry because they were like, you know, they do the test. They do the friggin' test. And they're like, you got a mild concussion. You can't wrestle. You're not wrestling in the tournament this weekend. You're out. No more practice. 2 weeks or a week. I don't know how long. It was a week or two. This was early 90s. This must have been 1990, I'm guessing. Like, it's been, how many years ago is that? 36 years later.
36 years ago, yeah.
And they don't, I mean, if Bridgewater State, this little rinky-dink college, if they had a trainer in there and to stop me from wrestling over a concussion 36 years ago, I think we've come a long way in concussions. Like, I'm surprised. Did they have an athletic trainer there? Somebody to stop it and say, hey, you need to do the test. Was he tested? I mean, I think he should have been tested, like you said, the night before. After the first incident, they should have tested him. Trainer should have been there and said, we're holding you out. No, you can't. You can't go. You're forbidden. Was there a trainer there? Was there somebody to protect him? So was there a test done?
There was on Boxing Day, and this is where I'm really confused about this too, because there was a referee during the actual match, and I don't know why there's not charges, but I'm probably guessing that's one of the witnesses that came forward, and maybe there was some type of immunity deals given out to testify, because there was a referee. And then come to find out, from what I found out, their actual credentials or their you know, the credentials or certifications that they get was actually expired. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, why is this fight not being stopped? Like, he's been violently knocked down in the first round multiple times. Why is this not being stopped? And it was allowed to continue to go. And that's where the failure is on the leadership of these four troopers that were overseeing this. And the thing that makes it worse than this too, Mike, and this is really what goes up my ass sideways, is that, and I know you're going to play some clips here in a little bit, but the thing that goes sideways up my ass is that you hear the lawyers talk about their impeccable service records. You know, they served our country. And listen, I want to make sure that I make this very clear. I don't get down on people that serve our country, but I think that's the added thing to this is that you have training. You're a trained police officer. You're a trained state trooper. You've served our country, which I'm thankful for, but that makes it even worse in my opinion. Like, you should have known better. You know, like, if you've gone through that much training and you're out there on the battlefield saving lives, then this really should have clicked in for you and said, hey, you know, we need to stop this. And you know, they didn't. They didn't. There was a lot of negligence in this. You might be muted again.
Sorry, New Hampshire dude. Twice. I'm so like happy and chilling today. I'm going back to my old ways. I'm relaxed with you, Brian.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is. It's like I'm too relaxed. I'm too chill tonight. I've been good lately. We're getting a lot of super chats. We got people in the chat.
They
This
don't
is
like the
people
super
like it.
chats, Mike. They don't like that. You know,
Who
they
doesn't?
probably get
Oh, they
got
got
the pen
mad. They're counting the
yeah,
super
they got the
chats.
pen and paper out there
I
adding it up.
noticed that
Oh,
they're
9.99.
clocking my super chats now. They were like, Mike didn't get any super chats for like a week, and it was like I hadn't done a show in a week. Like, they're literally clocking how much money
They
we're
don't
making.
like
It's so
that,
funny.
Mike.
But New Hampshire dude 603 who went to Bridgewater State College where I went said BSC had one of the best athletic trainer programs. Good point, Mike. And I will note, New Hampshire dude, probably the most successful dude or person that I know from Bridgewater State College is a dude named Jimmy Wayland, who was my suite mate at one point, and he ended up being the New England Patriots athletic trainer
Wow.
for the whole thing. Like, ever since we left college, he's been hanging. Or he started under Parcells, and he was with Belichick, and I think he's still there. I mean, we don't. He disappeared off the grid. I know why, because he probably knows all of us degenerates from Bridgewater State College would be asking about injuries, so we could gamble and things like that. So I haven't talked to him in years, but he's been doing really good, and good guy, Jimmy. So hey, he almost got me be an athletic trainer. I actually was like following his footsteps for a few months, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to history. I became a history major, but I swear to God, the athletic trainers did really well at Bridgewater. But that's beside the point. We're off track. I'm getting off track.
All
Let's
right.
stick to Enrique Delgado Garcia
Yeah.
tonight. But I mean, the big thing is, I just can't believe in this day and age, like I said, 2026, it's been 36 years since I had that incident. People saying they're figuring out how old I am. They don't think it's possible because I'm only 35 years old. But I mean, think about that, how long ago that was. And they had that set up at a state college. Why the hell doesn't the Mass State Police
I
have
know.
something to protect?
Yeah.
Um, LG said a lot of things in here. I want to bring a few
Yeah,
things
yeah.
up. Uh, Here it is. She said she had zero experience basically, but fighting as a kid. And I have to say, like, I fought as a kid, but I didn't know shit
Fought as a
until
kid.
like I was in that wrestling room. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, so you really, even I got in a lot of fights as a kid. You don't learn anything really about fighting or technique, and until you get some instruction or some practice, some time
Yeah.
in. And it takes a few weeks, to even know what's what's what. And I just can't believe they put somebody like a black belt against you if you had no experience, LG. That just seems crazy.
Yeah. I
Uh,
took
and
I
she said she was
I
trying to take a 60-question test with a concussion.
yeah, good luck.
That's
Yeah. I took some we got scammed back in the 90s. I took Kenpo karate. There was a guy in
yeah.
my local town at the time, and we went in there and paid a whole bunch of money up front to him. You know, he's like, "Oh, you got to pay 6 months up front." So we get in there, you know, like we like some of us made it up past like white belt. We get to like I got to yellow belt with a white stripe. You know, oh, it was, this
Ooh.
guy. You know, we went in there and he was a black, well, said he was a black belt. We went in there and paid him a whole bunch of money up front, and we only made it through like 3 months or something like that. And then all of a sudden, one day, he closed up shop
Those
and ran off with a lot of our money. So,
That's the
like, all these
problem with those places. A
parents
lot of
paid
those
all
karate places, they end up
the guy and
shutting
ran off.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't get
yeah,
enough. They get too. They're not good business people. A lot of them,
no,
unfortunately.
he took our money and ran off. Coward.
Oh, oh. You should have done what I was doing. Open mats, wrestling, man. We got to get in
I was
shape.
playing in a band, Mike. Like that's like what I did out of high school. You know,
Yeah,
like
there you go.
junior high and high school, I was playing all the, in the clubs in Boston and Providence and traveling up and down the East Coast. Like, I'd look at my mom and we'd leave Friday and just go up, and we would go up to like Vermont or New Hampshire and just sleep in the car and play all these places out in Northampton and Worcester. And, that's what we did. Play music.
I'm wondering what places in Worcester and Boston. Do you ever play the
Well,
Lucky Dog?
we the Lucky Dog, I know, but we used to
Right.
play a place on James Street called the Espresso Bar,
Oh wow.
and it's now, I believe, it's like a country music place. But we used to have all the hardcore music there, and like pack 1,000 kids into a club that would hold 300, and it's just like a big romper room in there, just people killing each other and stage diving, and it was fun. Like we had a
Sounds
lot of
like a
fun
good
doing it.
time. And what about
Yeah.
Boston? What type of clubs do you play? Off track again, but I
Boston,
love
we
it.
played at the Rat just before it all
No,
like
oh my
closed down.
god.
Remember the Rat?
No
Yeah.
way. Were you in the
Yeah.
basement? You were actually playing in the Rat
The
basement.
Rat, the Middle East. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the Middle East, I used to book their shows there all the time.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I have
glad that
only.
that
It's funny.
survived.
I went to the Rat one time
Yeah. Played the
with this
Rat.
group of people, right? Right before it closed. I had no idea.
Mhm.
And the dude I was with and the crew I was with were like, "Oh, we're not paying the cover." So we stayed upstairs. We never went downstairs, and I just kind of like kill myself. Like now I think about it, I was like, I was such a dumbass. Why didn't I just
Yep.
go down there, pay the cover,
Yep.
say fuck the crew I'm with? Like,
Yeah. Another place we played used to be in Providence called the Living Room.
oh, I've been
And
there.
that
That
the
place was
guy that ran
awesome.
that place, Randy, was such an awesome guy
Yeah.
to all
Oh yeah.
all the the hardcore bands. Like he like and he's now passed on, and rest in peace, Randy, because you were such a great guy. But
He was a
he
great
was
guy. I
really
knew him too.
he
Yeah.
was the one that really helped push local music in this
Oh
area.
yeah.
And opening up the club on Sundays to all these hardcore bands of music that like no one wanted to come in and see. We're all
Yeah.
playing aggressive, loud music and stage diving, but this guy like really really opened up his club and let us come in there, and we put on, big shows at the time. And, it was a good time.
What year was
Randy,
that? Because we're overlapping a little bit. Some of the
yeah.
places
So
and
this,
people and
this
clubs.
is like, we were playing the Living Room, like starting there in like 95,
Wow.
96.
You
Yeah.
were early. Wow,
Yeah. I
you
was
were,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
This is even
Yeah.
before the years I was managing and
Yeah.
booking bands and things. That's crazy. You
Yeah.
were there during like the peak of anyone could get signed at that moment. Like it was like
Yep.
wild in Boston.
Yeah. We had
But
A&R guys looking at us. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing that stuff. I'm glad I got to do it. I got to meet a lot of people, and a lot of people that went on to very successful careers, like bands like, like Hatebreed. I used to go out and
oh
see
yeah,
them, and it'd be like 5 people there, and they play massive major festivals now. And it's cool to see Jamie Josta go on and have a really great career. And we used to go up to Worcester and watch and go to like local bazooka. That was
Dan
always fun.
Hotwell. Do you know
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah,
Do you ever
yeah.
go to his house? I went to Dan's house.
No.
I got drunk. Oh my god! The last time I got drunk was on my birthday, and it was Dan Hotwell. I was with him actually at the
Yeah.
Middle East downstairs, and he was. I knew he was kind of looking at me like, "Is this guy got a drinking problem?" Because he's a reformed alcoholic, and like, I like Dan. Dan's a good guy. He like. My band, the band I was managing, we had a meeting with him about doing local
Mhm.
bazooka, and we decided not to do it because it was just so much money. But
Yeah.
he's
It was
always
a
a
lot of
good
money to
guy.
get on those.
Did you
Yeah.
play it?
No, I never played it, but we know a band that did go on, and they played this band Eastside that used to be out of
Oh
Taunton.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah, I
great.
know East
And
Side. Yeah,
they play local bazooka. I mean, it was like 25,000 or 40,000
yeah, it
people.
was a
That
lot.
was
It was
nuts.
he'd give
Yeah.
you the tickets, and
Yep.
I ended up
Yep.
doing some
Yep.
similar promotions myself. Actually, having bands sell tickets. It's funny,
That's
but
awesome.
not as big. Not like local bazooka. That was a different level. But let's talk. We have some great super chats, some
Yeah, of
comments.
course.
I just want to go through some of the comments here. Here's
Of
a
course.
lot of LG comments. She says Patton got bullied in the academy, so she felt she had to do it to those.
Yep.
I just think that's probably a lot of where this is happening. Like this is what was going on here, unfortunately. And It's too bad there's no leadership in 2026. You'd think people would wake up from this stuff. Like I remember even on my teams when I was a senior, like I was trying to stop any of the hazing bullshit going on because it's not. And I was a kid back then, you know, like I feel like if I was smart enough at 17 to realize that these grown adults, like you need to cut the shit with the hazing stuff. And like you shouldn't have to risk your life for your job, like for training. Like it's obviously these guys are, I think that's where some of this comes from because people are like, we got to get them tough for the streets. So when they're on the streets, their life's at risk.
Right.
But Enrique never got to the streets, you know, like it's this, you killed them, like it's just too much. Like I just wonder, do you think that this is going to come up, that it's like a hazing, bullying culture as an excuse? Because I think that's really going to be their excuse, is this is how it's done. This is just like what's that movie with Jack Nicholson, the courtroom drama,
Yeah.
A Few Good Men.
Good men.
Yeah,
And
it's
you're going
like
to hear one of the tone deaf lawyers in the clip that you're going to play that's going to quote that movie.
right.
Reddington
Kevin
quotes the
Reddington.
movie. You fucking moron. Like,
I
are you
mean, that's
serious?
his defense, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not really moronic because I think that's their defense. I think they're looking for one person on there that's going to be like one of these hard guys and be like, yeah, we got to toughen them up. And hey, sometimes you got to break some eggs, you know, like it just,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you
No,
put together a video and a timeline. Do you want to look at the timeline first or the videos?
yeah. I mean, basically, we've talked about September 11th. That's kind of where it starts off. I want to talk a little bit about April 22nd, 2024. So that's when Enrique actually joined the academy. And there was a lot of misinformation about his actual injury and what he died from. And this is where, I don't want to say like I laughed about it, but I kind of did because there was a lot of assumptions out there that said that, oh, he died from an aneurysm. He died from an aneurysm. Well, first of all, how would you know that? You don't have a medical examiner's report. You don't have a finalized cause of death. So you can't make that predetermination because I heard it from someone that heard it from someone that heard it from someone from an ambulance driver. Okay. So you can't make that assumption. And come to find out is that Enrique Delgado Garcia was medically evaluated by his physician before he went into the academy. And guess what? When you get into the academy, they medically evaluate you again. So he cleared all his medical evaluations with flying colors. And talking to the family, they even said, we can't even remember the last time he even complained about a headache. He was an avid runner. He was in really great shape. And went into the academy with a clear medical, clearance record. And then come to find out is what happened was it was medically diagnosed as bleeding on the brain and, a severe concussion. And that's ultimately what killed him. And I still think, and this is where I'm more curious about the medical examiner's report. I want to find out, and that's why I think a lot of these charges have been brought forth, obviously because the unauthorized boxing match, but because of the unauthorized boxing match, and that was on, and I'll go up here, that was on the 11th. That's what I'm talking about here. But because of that, I think your findings and what they're going to find through the pathology is that, and this is just my opinion, that I think that that's when the concussion and bleeding started. And that's probably why there's the involuntary manslaughter, because of not medically evaluating him after this unsaid match on, unauthorized match on the 11th. And that's probably where his injury started. And then obviously when he took the major hits again on the authorized boxing day on the 12th here, that's what ultimately killed him. So
it says it right there too. It ignored safety ratios and split
yeah.
38 trainees into sparring groups. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. Like,
It was a free for all. I mean, it was just everybody go in there and beat the shit out of each other. I mean, that's basically what happened. There was no
and that
supervision.
Wednesday too. No adequate supervision of medical staff. No trainers. I mean, that's
Yeah.
who the hell does that?
Yep.
Especially with first time guys.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he complains to multiple people, loss of memory, headaches, missing the day, another concussion. I mean, that should have been the red flag. I want to know if any of them told any of the supervisors. I mean, did they know?
Well, that's what they did, and that was where the Commonwealth is alleging that Penton lied. That as Enrique
Yeah.
is being brought to the hospital, now recruits are coming forward and they're telling Penton, they're telling Rodriguez, they're telling Montanez that, hey, here's some information that you guys might need. He complained of a headache, memory loss,
Yesterday.
and the quote that I heard was, "My head doesn't feel right." That was the quote that I've heard, and that was on the Wednesday. So she knew all this information allegedly and didn't relay it to the medical, the medical team, the response team. That could have helped. That knowing that could have helped, you know. I think you're muted again.
No, I'm just thinking out
Yeah, yeah.
loud. I'm reading this because this right up the matchup selection. Enrique was originally paired with another trainee. He was ultimately matched against the most experienced and skilled fighter in the group. Another
Yep.
trainee voiced concerned. I mean that right there should have been the red flag for
Mhm.
everybody. Anytime an athlete says, this isn't working, I mean that's when you say, hey, well, we got to make sure we have someone that's the right matchup for this guy. Obviously, I mean, if that gets vocally said in a practice or a workout, like I've been in many of these rooms, like wrestling, like I said,
Mhm.
multiple teams, not just my team, not just under the coaches that I had, other schools, we'd practice with them. We'd do open mats, we'd have sectional, we all types of teams. I've been with so many teams. If anyone ever said that out loud, like this guy, I can't wrestle him. He's gonna hurt me. He's like he's way too much. That would be it. I mean, I've seen that some complaints on that during matches where one guy's a beast, but that's a match. Like it's kind of expected. Like you're not supposed to go easy on people. But during practice and sparring and working out, like if that was
Yeah,
ever
and
said, that would stop everybody and say we need to find someone good for this guy because he is going to hurt somebody. And
or
usually, like I said, it would be a coach. It would be
yeah,
somebody, maybe a kid who's home from college that week, and he won All American last year. That's the person who would jump in. There's always somebody like that around the programs, and I can't believe that they just let it, like they said, oh, well, if it's not going to work with him, let's bring this other kid in who's
Mhm.
never boxed before. Like that is just asinine. That right there is the moment where I'd put that guy in the stand. Whoever that guy who said, I can't pair with this guy, he's going to be a witness. I have to think that
Right,
person's going to be a witness.
right,
They're
and I
gonna
want
say,
to
why
commend.
why didn't you feel comfortable? Well, he smashed me in the face and broke my nose. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
And I want to
I just
commend, I want to commend the recruits that did come forward and do the right thing and say the right thing and not lie, and not lie. 150 people step forward as witnesses. Again, there's going to be some for the defense and there's going to be some for the prosecution, but those people that step forward, knowing the fear of the weight of what the academy holds, and they're doubling down, Mike. You're gonna hear it and see it in some of the clips that you play. You get the president, Brian Wilson, out there that's standing behind this and saying this was a common program initiative that we're involved in, and these troopers are not responsible. I mean, you're going to hear that, in these clips. And going back to your bigger point, you got to look at, what if this ever happened in a UFC fight, or what if this ever happened in a boxing match, or maybe an NFL game where a quarterback gets brought into the tent after getting a big hit and says, "Hey, my head doesn't feel right." You know what? He would be brought into the locker room. That's it. You're done,
they do
buddy.
the
You're
test. There's a
gone.
test. There's a test,
Right.
an eye test. I can't remember exactly how that test goes, but
Right.
I was given a test, and as soon as you're given the test, the trainer or doctor, whoever's there, is going to say he's not concussed. He is concussed. It's mild. It's severe. They know. Like mine was what they call a mild concussion, and they helped me out. Like, and they diagnosed it like on the spot when it happened. It's like I just that's what I don't get is how they don't even, especially today. It's just perplexing to me, and it just shows like how reckless this is. I mean, if high schools can handle it, There are middle
Yeah,
schools that have wrestling. Like if high school coaches aren't really a lot of time rocket scientists, let's put it that way. Like if they can handle this, well, how the hell can't a state police training academy handle it?
right. It's a lot of negligence, Mike, you know? And like I was saying, even like in a boxing match, say your boxer goes back to, you know, in between round and they get what? I think it's 60 seconds. And that boxer looks up at the trainer and says, "Hey, my head doesn't feel right. I'm not feeling right." They're stopping the fight. I mean, they're going to stop the fight in the best interest of saving that boxer's life,
Totally.
you know?
I mean, that's the thing. Like Lulu said, I've been around the high school wrestling because one of my sons went to the state tournament and they watched them close. And if anything was wrong, or somebody was hurt, they would have stopped the match. Absolutely. I mean, nobody wants to die from a match
Right.
or sport. I mean, that's not what's supposed to happen here. It's supposed to make you a better person, get you in shape, learn some skills, learn some sportsmanship. You're not supposed to go home dead. I mean, even in the
Yeah.
NFL. I mean, the NFL, where these guys are literally killing themselves for millions of dollars, even they get protected more than Enrique did.
Yeah. No, I agree. And this graphic, you can find it on my website at ltlmedianews.com. Mike and I are just kind of going, quickly going through it here tonight, but you can check it out there. It will be up for everybody to review and look over. It's got a lot of important facts about the case on there, and there's a lot of information about it. And I think there's going to be a lot more that comes out. June 16th is the next pretrial hearing for all of the four individuals. I don't know when Penton's next hearing for perjury is, but I know that Meyer and the attorneys are talking to try to combine this and get it moved to Middlesex up in Woburn to have it just the whole trial there and get it out of Worcester. And I think that's fair too. You move it over. You're not, you don't have a Worcester jury. It's picked from a different jury pool that are not going to potentially taint or bias the jury, and I think that's probably the right thing to do.
You are so prepared. You bring all the docs, all the videos. You are the
It's
worker,
an
bro.
important
You
case,
work
Mike,
hard.
because it's a very important case because the thing that irritated me, and I know you talked about the billboard earlier, the thing that was irritating me is that, we're basically at, or around kind of the Karen Reed trials at its height, it's at its height. And, we're all fighting for Karen. And then you hear about this young man that came to better himself here in America to serve, as a state trooper and pursue his dream. He worked in the DA's office over in Worcester, and from what I've learned and gotten to know about him and speaking with the family, this guy was just a good guy, and there was nothing mean about him or a bad bone in his body. He was an advocate, for a witness advocate, and worked long hours and worked hard, and really was going to be the next level of his family, to project the family and be the one that came out, and the family was just really reliant, and he was pursuing his dream. And I love that. I love things about people that want to pursue their dream and the American dream. And I know in my heart, and just knowing about and learning about Enrique, he would have been one of the good guys, and he could have been an excellent role model, and probably would have worked his way up the chain and rank, and maybe could have been a very positive influence inside the MSP, knowing how much shit that's been going on in the last 20 or 30 years. I mean, Karen Reed, and then we hear about all the scandals inside
Quickly,
the
yeah. Goes on and
the
on and on.
yeah,
It
it just
goes
goes
on and
on and
on.
on,
And
you
it's
know.
like he could have been such an asset for the Mass
Yeah,
State Police, and they just threw his life away. It's just shocking. Um, yeah.
yeah.
We got a super chat that brought up the living room. The Rando supporter
Oh.
said living room was great times. Either of you remember Drained, hardcore from the
Yeah, I
South
played with
Coast
Train.
area?
I used to
Both of
play
you
with
rocked.
Train.
I don't remember
Yeah,
Drained. That's
yeah.
one you know.
Yeah, well, my band, I played in a couple bands, but the band that I played around most in was called Fall from Grace, if anybody knows that. And then I played in a band called 138, which was kind of the name came from a Misfits song. And that's my favorite band. But yeah, I played in 138. I played in my earlier 30s. I played in a band called Satellites Fall. And we did the WBRU rock night, and we came in second place. Unfortunately, we didn't win. That was a lot of fun too. But after a while of lugging very heavy gear around and sitting around for hours and hours and waiting to play, I was just like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
It's a tough life. It can be fun for a few years, then it gets a little repetitive.
Yeah. I play guitar, by the way. If anybody, I see Ruthie's asked, what do you play? Play guitar. I can play drums. I can play bass. Just being around that and being musical. We used to trade off instruments and stuff, and I've always been creative in music and stuff. We actually have a 7-inch. I have hang on one second.
Love it. Thank you to everybody who's super chatting tonight. Simon has been very.
Yeah, Simon's been killing it.
Yeah, Rando supporter. We getting a lot of great super chats tonight. I want to thank everyone who's kicking in. BV Egan. Oh, that's it. Let's can we enlarge you again? Let's hold on.
Yeah, I'll
remove that second. There we go. I'm gonna put you on the big screen too.
That's my band there. All from Grace. Split 7-inch, which means we're on one side, another band, Polyglots, on the other. They were from Maine. That's a photo.
Did you print that up yourself, or was it like a label release type thing?
Pin Drop Records. And guess where Pin Drop Records was, Mike?
Oh, wow.
Out of Holden, Massachusetts.
No way. There's a label out of Holden?
Yeah, there was. Funny. There was. My buddy Bill.
Funny. That is funny.
We had it on blue vinyl.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
And we ran blue and black. This
I love
one.
We're talking about music tonight. Let me ask you this. Yeah. Did you ever play with like any of the bands I know from the hardcore scene, like Tree or Sam Black Church, any of those types of bands?
We were around and played with Stained.
Stained, Aaron.
Who was the other one that got real? Godsmack. They played.
My God.
They all played at the Espresso Bar, because that used to be
what bar?
Espresso Bar in Worcester, on James Street.
Funny.
Yeah, yeah.
So, were you friendly with them at all? Did you know them?
Yeah, we just back then. I'm not friendly with them now, but you just get to know people when they come through the club, and yeah.
How were they? Were they good guys or not?
Yeah, no, everybody was cool back then. We were just kids and drinking and hanging out, and just fucking stage diving and slam dancing, and it was fun.
It's funny because I have had some experience with those guys too, which is funny because like Aaron especially, because my girl was at AAF and she was the first one to actually play both of those bands on commercial radio in Boston at AAF, and not Mike, Mike, what's the name? Mushok, the guitarist, Sustained.
Yeah.
On the last day of WAAF, he actually was on there, and I got to say, I really appreciate him because he said it. He said, Carmelita, she played us first on AAF, so thank you, Carmelita. And I was like, he's a good dude. I've always liked him, but the other dudes didn't say it. Like Godsmack, I don't think he gets along with Carm. It's funny, but I was friendly with how I talked about. We're talking about buying beer at Bridgewater State College, right?
Yeah.
Remember I said that other dude bought me. Yeah, you don't drink. That other dude, the wrestler who gave me the concussion, bought me beer when I was underage, and he was above 21. A couple of years later, my best friend from high school, his younger brother is going to Bridgewater State. His roommate is Sully's half brother. So I used to buy them beer. I used to buy Sully some Godsmack. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't realize it until much later, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Sully's brother." I used to buy him beer. So there you go. All right,
you're not on screen, by the way. I'm just up there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still talking.
I don't know if I have any of my
This is funny. I love how we get all about music and we get sidetracked. We can't stop, and the audience likes it too. So
good. Yeah.
Danielle, Danielle's like a neighbor of mine. She lives pretty close to me, Algie, I noticed. Buffalo Tom, we love them. I love Buffalo Tom. Good band. Yeah.
So
Thanks,
fun.
Sarah. Thanks, Sarah. Rub it in, Sarah. Rub it in. Oh yeah, the Del Fuegos. I know Woody. I was on Woody's show back in the day. Woody Geisman. Yeah, Woody Geisman. He's big addiction guy. He's the drummer of the Del Fuegos. Great guy. Yeah. Yeah, I love talking about music. This is how we get
Love
sidetracked. I'm
music.
sorry. I'm sorry to the audience who. It seems like people like it though. Brian likes it. I think Brian's like enjoying. It's good because we're getting to know more about you too. So it's fun.
Yeah. Simon coming through tonight. Look at this. They
Yeah,
don't
I
like
want to
that
thank
though.
all these people
Mike,
because this
they
hasn't
don't
happened
like
in a while. I want the Turtle
they
Boy
don't like
War
it.
Room to note
They don't
that
like
Brian
it.
from LTL has increased my super chats tonight. Make sure you do a special tweet about it, Turtle Boys War Room, and let everybody know that Brian is my
They're
new Mark
writing it
Betterow
down,
tonight.
Mike.
He is the new Betterow.
9.99,
Yeah, yeah. How
10.99.
much am I gonna owe
Right.
Brian? Deidre sent $4.99. Or make sure you Turtle Boy War Room or whoever you are, Rando support. I think we know who that is.
I think
I
we
think
do
it's a
too.
big YouTuber actually who gets a
I
lot of
think it
super
is
chats
too.
himself. She,
9.99,
she or he gets a lot of
8.99.
super. Yeah, Match and Simon, thank you so much. Rando support. Look at
Uh-oh.
Simon
Buck
just getting through.
99.
Look at this. They're gonna have the Turtle
They're gonna
Boy
have
War Room and the
Rico.
rest of them. They got a big list to hate on tonight. They
It's
like
gonna be
there's
it's gonna be Young Jerks LTL derangement syndrome.
They have it. Mike Derangement. Somebody big said that to me one day. They're like, Mike, they got Mike Derangement syndrome. Natalie Diana said two of my favorite content creators.
Awesome, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And
I
music
mean
does.
BB
Lindsay said music brings everybody together. It does. It really does.
you
No, it really
notice
does.
some of these people too that have like Brian, this is something I've noticed recently too. Um some of these assholes who are like big on YouTube, let's say.
Yeah.
I bet they don't have like one favorite song, some of them. Like, because I never, ever hear them ever talk about music. And I'm just like,
Love
that's,
music.
I don't think they like books and I don't think they like music. I honestly, do you kind of get that vibe?
I just don't think they like anybody but themselves.
Yeah. I don't even think they like themselves. I think that's where it stems
Yeah.
from. I think deep down they
Yeah.
don't like themselves. LG says two of the best journalists right here
Thank
on
you.
panel dropping a super chat to piss the feral leprechaun off.
Uh-oh.
Keep up the great work, gentlemen. LG, he gets
They
so
don't
mad.
like this,
LG,
Mike.
OG.
They're writing it down.
You know, he gets so mad. He gets so mad that she's in my chat and that we're friendly. He like made a
Yeah.
post about it. Like he got so mad.
Yeah.
You would think we were hooking up or something. Like he
Simon,
just got
thank you.
so mad.
Do you want to show one of the videos? Show that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the super chats. I'm just laughing at him. Like this one, this is for Turtle Boy War Room.
Oh no, they're writing it
Here's
down.
another one. Look at them all.
$4.99.
Sarah's had enough of my sass tonight. And then Simon again. He's hitting. Simon is on a roll. Let's hear it from Simon from the UK right now. Simon, you are the Simon's the like the yeah.
Mike, look out! More super chats.
Oh my God! Someone left. Look out loud with Kylie says, "I left Turtle's graveyard."
Uh-oh.
Yeah, add them all up, Brian. Brian, you are my new Mark Betterow over here.
You're gonna bring me.
They're gonna say pretty soon. They're gonna say Mike can't do a show without Brian. He needs Brian like he needed Betterow. New Hampshire dude 603 says, "Fucking screw TV, you boys go VSC." Look at this. This is just not stopping tonight, Brian.
I know. 50.
Brian, how much am I gonna owe you? This is
I
awesome.
want all of it.
You want all of it?
But if you give it to me, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So
oh yeah, that's true. It's true. I did have a lot of taxes this year. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, my taxes were crazy too.
That's a thing. Like they're when they're clocking all of our super chats and all that, I'm like,
yeah,
good, maybe I won't have to pay so much taxes next year.
Nope. They got us. They got us.
You know what's great too is once you start really saving too, and you start making investment money, like they tax a lot less than income tax.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get that kind of wealth. The dividend wealth. Oh, look, 5 more pounds. This is for the Muppets. They want to bring on Nan. Oh, speaking of Nan, Nan is here. I love it. Nan, we love Nan.
Yeah.
Nan's going to be on the show on Young Jerks. I'm sure she'll be on your show again very soon
Yep.
because you're just like me. You like her a lot as a guest. She's coming on Friday. I'm going to have Nan back on the show Friday. I figured I'd go Wednesday, piss him off with Brian, Friday, piss him off with Nan, and I'm just like loving it because two great guests here. Like, we're not even talking about the drama either. We're just doing, like we said,
We're
content.
just having
We're
fun.
we're having fun.
What we can do.
That's the thing. One of the things people have been noting too about those drama content things that they try to restream us and frame it and try to make money off of us. We haven't been giving it to them, and they're mad. They are getting mad about it because we just kind of laugh. We just chuckle. We really don't talk about them. We're moving on to other content. We're doing good things, and they got or I take a week off. They got really mad. They want us to like spaz out, and like the fact that we don't watch them or respond to them or even care about them. And the only thing that we have is just basically a couple snide remarks every once in a while on Twitter.
Mm.
And just mostly just laughter, just laughing and laughing and laugh. I mean, that's all that you and I, we laugh. Let's tell the truth. Privately, we really do laugh our asses off, don't we?
Yeah, I don't like. I just don't give a fuck. Like, you
Yeah.
can talk about me. I don't care. Like, I don't have time for it. Like, I'm busy. Like, I have a job. I have friends, and I have family, and I have relationships offline, and then I have to make my own content. So I don't have all day to sit around and find out like specific timestamps on streams that I have to
You
go talk.
imagine
And the
that?
funny thing is, you don't
Wasting your
matter,
time.
and I don't matter. Like, we don't matter, but we get talked about a lot. Like,
I know. You're
not a
promoting
lot.
us. I like, thanks for promoting us, dude. Thanks for
But I
letting people
don't
know that Ed
fucking
Walsh is
care.
on my
That's
show. Maybe look,
the
Ed,
funny.
Ed
Like,
Flynn.
I just
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. I don't
I
either.
don't give a
I think
fuck.
it's funny as hell at this point. It's at one point I did actually care at the very beginning, but
I don't
now
care. I could
I
care
just
less.
yeah, I'm the same way,
I
except for
couldn't even
laughter.
tell you what is happening or what gets talked about. I see maybe some clips on X or some conversations, and I look at it and chuckle, and I go, okay, well, now I have to work on this, and then I just work on something for my channel. I don't
That's
know.
the thing.
I'm too
That's the thing.
busy. I'm too
I
busy
love it.
going to hearing. I'm too busy going to
Yeah.
hearings and getting video so people can understand what's going on about specific cases in Massachusetts. I mean, I'm too busy doing that. So
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You said it best when you said we don't have time to sit there on
I
Twitter
just
and
don't care.
keep track of who
I
said what and
don't care.
record video and cut video and do all this crazy shit to try to it's insane. And you know what? I'm so glad you're there because I even mentioned somebody did a show about you the other day and you're like, he
Oh,
did?
nice.
You're like me because I've been like that and they didn't believe me. Like that dude did not believe me that I don't watch their shows. I haven't watched any of their shows. I don't know in how long. Probably since the last time I went on Turtle Boy show is the last time I watched any of their shows. The only
Mhm.
time I ever like you is get any of what's going on is those little clips on Twitter, and then I just laugh my ass off. That's
Yeah.
it. It's just a
I
fucking
don't
comedy.
care. Like, I
Yeah,
really don't care.
yeah. I love
It's not
that. I love
affecting
that. It's a
me.
good and what you do care about is your content, your channel,
I
and
do.
you're doing good content. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you're showing tonight. It's like this is what's amazing. It's like you bring this fucking you've done the work on this. I want to show some of the videos, and I like the way
Appreciate it.
that you handle yourself when you're out there. You don't suffer fools. You're not being a pushover with them, but you're not like abrasive. You don't make the YouTubers look bad. This
I
is what
think a
I
lot
see
of
a
it.
lot of time. A lot of the
Yeah.
mainstream media, even a lot of the citizens out there, they say to me, Mike, I like you, but I don't like this whole YouTube thing. And it's because of a
Yeah.
lot of the bad behavior that's they've watched. And you
I,
don't give us a bad name, unlike a lot of these other jokers. So
well,
I really appreciate the way you handle yourself as a YouTuber out there, and you're getting the content. It's just, and you're not like gonna catch a charge. You're not trying to make yourself part of the story. You're not being an asshole. You're making us look good. I really appreciate what you're doing out there.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you said that. And I have to say this, like, for all the mainstream journalists that I've met out there, and I say mainstream in the sense of all the respective Boston reporters that have been out there, you know, I tend to, so for me, it was like, yeah, I think I was more of an advocate in Karen's case, you know, like advocating for her. I didn't have my press pass then, but taking on the press pass, I think for me was a little bit of like a step up. So it was going to be different for me this time. And I wanted, and I've done this too, is I've done my best to have the family as a source, but I haven't really gotten like, I guess, close to them. So I'm giving them their respective space, and I let them come to me, and I might just check in and say, hey, you know, have you heard anything, or did you know about this? And we have that type of relationship, um, which I think is great. So I can keep things like objective this time around when I look at it. And yeah, there's probably a little bit of my opinion because I'm so strong about this case, but I've really learned a lot. You know, I look at people like Christina Rex, that's been very kind to me when I've seen her at some of the hearings, and she's kind of taken me around the courtroom a little bit and shown me a little bit. And I've had another really well respected journalist, mainstream journalists in the area, just recently reach out to me, and I've had some really great conversations with that journalist, and they gave me some tips around the courtroom, and I think they're taking note, and you know, in my work and what I've done and what I'm doing for this. And you know, I always get, when I have the conversation with them, like, keep doing what you're doing, you know, like, you know, even they appreciate it, you know, you're doing a good job. And I think it's cool, like, for them to like just kind of like reach out and say, no, I'll show you, like, just come this way or follow us, or you can sit here. You know, those little things make the big difference. And I didn't want to go out there and start screaming and yelling, and I wanted to just treat this a little bit different and learn from them, because that's their job. Like, this is, to me, yeah, this is like my second job, but this is not, you know, my full time. This is, you know, yeah, it is work and it's a job, but it's also it's a passion of mine too, to do this stuff. So it's been a learning experience, and I just want to conduct myself a little bit different and be more of a fly on the wall this time around. So that's it.
It is important too to I just have to say, because a lot of the mainstream media doesn't necessarily love us YouTubers right now.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about what's going on in Massachusetts, even nationally. There's been a lot of things going on. So
Mhm.
it's good when they actually, you know, because I've been there too. I've been out there with some of these reporters, and I'm friendly with them too. I
Yeah.
feel the same way. Like
Mhm.
I think they're shocked actually when you or I show up compared to some of these other jokers. I have to say, because a lot of these other people are just not nice. They're not professional. They're kind of nasty, and being nice to people goes a long way. So I appreciate that you're out there doing this. Do you want to play the short video first or the longer video?
Yeah, well, this was a couple of weeks ago. It was Jennifer Penton when she was heading to Middlesex Superior Court in Woburn, and you're gonna hear a little bit of how the supporters were out front. And this is pretty good. Renee Rose is actually, and I love Renee Rose. You're gonna hear her voice here in the background, and she's gonna compare Penton to a certain trooper that we know pretty well that's been around the Karen Reed case. But yeah, you can play this. This is a great clip. And this
Jennifer, any comment today on the charges that you're facing?
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Jennifer, any comment for the Delgado Garcia family?
Shame on you, Penton. You're the new proctor. Penton, you're the new proctor. Shame on you. You're the
Any
new
comments, Jennifer?
You're the new proctor.
That's great.
Proctor, I love that.
You're the new
it's-
proctor.
I want to replay that a little bit. 1 second here,
Yeah.
because I want to get her face. It just
Yeah, that's
oh,
pretty much been her face
there we
through
go.
this
I'll
whole
stop it right there.
process. I call her Stone Face Penton. I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically been her face. Yeah.
And these people
you'll
that
see
are
it.
all around her are with the union, I'm guessing, or Mass
Yeah,
State
that's all
Police officers?
union reps, Mass State Police, and they've really, from what I've seen, really been protecting her through this, not as much as the other troopers, but she gets the most protection in this.
I wonder why. Is it because she
you,
was on the TV show with Brian
I
Alpert?
think so, and she's a lieutenant, so she's
Yeah.
the top dog in the group. I think it has a lot to do with that too. And she's involved in the Quigley bit too.
That's
You know,
right.
she's got some shit going on in the Quigley case. She got a lot of problems right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's definitely screwed. I mean, the Quigley stuff too. It's just people don't know about the Quigley situation. Quigley's a Mass State Police officer that drove into a van drunk.
Yeah,
A
killed
Special Olympics van
Yep.
and
Yeah.
killed the Special Olympian.
Yeah.
And the state police let him off and
Yep.
didn't give him an OUI. He was
Right.
speeding, crossed the lines. A couple of years later now they're investigating him, and she was the one who let him off. She was the one who was told not to go see him.
Right. And she's been allegedly heard on camera saying that she's covering for him. So she got some problems. She's going to have some problems. Here's a tidbit, Mike.
That's the thing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, after court, it was pretty funny. Her attorney comes out, and from what I've heard, he's a horrible attorney. And actually, I know where his office was, pretty close to a case that we followed, but his office was in a particular building. And I've heard through some sources that he's a pretty horrible attorney. But anyway, he comes out, and this is kind of funny. We won't hear it in this clip, but after court, he comes out and he's talking about it, and he goes, "I am fully confident that Jennifer Penton, my client, will be found guilty of perjury." He says, he has a Freudian slip and says she will be guilty of this charge.
My God.
And she fucking goes and looks at him, and then everybody in the group's like, "Not guilty."
Oh my God. Oof. 6 foot in mouth.
Oh, that's great.
It is. That is just unbelievable, actually. Yeah, I mean, it's this whole thing is wild. With the other situation, Quigley.
Yep.
I like this whole thing about David Meyer coming in and being an independent investigator was the best thing for this Enrique Galdado Garcia. Why the hell aren't they doing it for Quigley? Why aren't Mass State Police officers being investigated? Because there is a cover up on that. And will they ever charge anyone? It seems like they're just going to let them all skate by on this and pretend nobody did anything wrong.
I think she's going to have some problems in that case once they start really digging in and figuring out. And if she falls in this, you're going to see her fall in that case too, because they're just going to shift all this on her and ship her away, wherever she decides to land in this case. But I do, at the end of this, I do want to talk about a case that actually I'm wearing the shirt tonight. In a young man named Kyron Lopes, and it's been 138 days. And it's a very similar situation to the Delgado Garcia's case. He actually was a recruit at the Capitol Police facility in Rhode Island, and he was brought actually from training to Rhode Island Hospital. And the injuries that the family has described to me, and it's on his medical records, and it's very similar to Delgado Garcia, bleeding on the brain. He had a severe leg injury, and among some other things, some organ failure. And he ultimately ended up dying as well. And this family has been fighting for the last 138 days. They still don't have a medical examiner's report. And the thing that scares me about that case is that the Rhode Island State Police is investigating it. And I don't like that. And I've been calling for the governor, Dan McKee. I've been calling to the attorney general, Peter Nahara, to step up and get an independent investigator to come in and look at this case, because we know what happens when entities that are involved, Mike, that investigate cases. And thank God that Andrea Campbell, the attorney general in this case, did the right thing and brought in David Meyer to look at this. I'm calling on Peter Nahara to do the same thing out of Rhode Island. My calls are obviously going on, unaccounted for, but I'm going to keep rallying for their case too. And I have some upcoming things planned, possibly some things at the Rhode Island State House. And, hey, maybe we need to raise a billboard in Rhode Island too. So we'll see what happens.
See, this is going on. You have another video that you wanted to share.
Yeah, you can play after the first hearing, the initial hearing, the involuntary manslaughter hearing. You'll be able to hear the attorneys if you want to pull that one up, Mike. We can go through it. Do you have the link, or do you need me to send it to you?
No.
If everyone can back up, we have a number of people that are going to say a few things.
That's Bailey. This guy's a moron.
Back up, please. Back up. You got to come out and speak. Stay under the lid here. So.
And this has been her face. You'll see it the entire time through all of this.
Move up a little bit. We can block this exit. You can't block the exit. You can't block the exit. Back, folks. We got to go back. Keep going. Keep going. Go back to the middle, please.
Brian Williams, the union representative president behind Penton.
Keep going. He's going to come out. Close. More.
Yeah, we don't
Look at her face. Think she's scared?
Go ahead, Brad.
I gotta do something.
What's that?
That's David Montanez behind
Are we all
her.
here?
Can you step up just so we can hear you appropriately?
That's Trooper
Brad Bailey,
Montanez.
speaking on behalf of my client, Lieutenant Jennifer Penton. I have some prepared remarks. There's no question that the untimely death of Trooper Enrique Delgado Garcia on September 11th, 2024 at the State Police Academy in New Braintree is nothing short of a tragedy. Because of that, we continue to offer condolences and prayers to his family and to his loved ones. But the tragedy of Trooper Delgado
Look at her.
is not a crime. Filing these criminal charges will not bring Trooper Delgado Garcia back, and the Commonwealth's effort to apply
Mike, can you pause that for a second?
an attenuated and convoluted legal theory to the underlying facts will not change them, nor will it transform this tragedy into criminal conduct. My client, Jennifer Penton, Lieutenant Penton, is not a criminal. She has devoted the last 24 years of her entire adult life to public safety. She rose through the ranks on merit, commendation, and excellence from patrol officer in New Bedford to shift commander and station commander as a lieutenant with the Massachusetts State Police. She also honorably served her country for 8 years in the Army National
Mike, can you pause
Guard,
that for a second?
including a deployment.
Thanks for me to
I just
pause
want
this.
Yeah, I want everybody to look at her face. I mean,
stone face.
does that say it right there? Does that say it right there? I think she knows she's in a lot of trouble. And that is Kevin Reddington behind her, by the way. He's Montanez's Trooper Montanez's attorney, and you're gonna hear him speak here in a minute.
Kevin Reddington.
But that's been her look every time.
Have you ever had any interactions with him on social media?
No.
Oh, I have. He came at he came at me a couple of times. It's funny. He's a funny guy, actually. Look at those eyebrows, though.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that guy, Elton? What was the name? Elton, the guy that had issues with him he was a client of Reddington.
Yeah.
I think that's what Reddington hit me up about. I can't even remember now. It's funny.
To Kabul, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Yeah, this is making it
Today,
worse.
she and the other defendants all pled not guilty and asserted their innocence. Indictments are nothing more than accusations. Allegations written on paper. They are not evidence. They prove nothing. They, no matter how forcefully stated, and no matter how creatively constructed, they cannot substitute for proof. In this case, we believe the evidence will show an effort to attempt to force round pegs into square holes. We haven't seen any evidence as of yet, but what I do know, and what we have on behalf of Lieutenant Penton, is this. Her record of service, which is a record that reflects a generation's worth of commitment, professionalism, bravery, loyalty, and dedication to her country,
Even worse.
her state, her duty, and to her badge. I am confident, we're all confident, when all of the evidence is presented, including video of the event at issue, when the governing policies and protocols are fully explained, when the relevant documents are in.
What do you think about that? Because he's
Worse,
like
Mike.
the protocols. I mean, we've heard what Todd said. The protocols weren't to have any of this stuff happening the way it happened,
Yep.
right?
And it's even worse where he's, you know, that you hear in Reddington's going to do it too. He's going to tote up Montanez's military service record. And listen, I don't shit on soldiers. I don't shit on people that serve our country. The only backlash I have in this is that it makes it even worse. Like I
Right.
look at it and go, you really should know better in this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making it even worse. But
Seriously.
this is
That's the way I look at it. I mean, for her, I don't know if she's ever been a wrestling and boxing team or jiu-jitsu. So I
She's
maybe
boxed.
give her a little more of a pass than the others, because I know, you know, those other two guys should have known better. Like that's what I don't get, because they've been around.
She has boxing experience. There's videos of her on Boston Finest boxing,
And she should have known. She
She
should have known better.
Yep.
You know, yeah, I just think it's wild when they're talking about protocol, because
I know.
you know, Todd. You mentioned Todd McGee earlier. He's a
Yep.
friend of yours. He's been on
Yeah.
both of our shows,
Very
especially
good friend
yours,
of
a
mine.
lot. He's a
Yep.
very good friend of yours. I think he had something to do with this. Is that correct? He was called in maybe to help look into this a little bit. No? Yes?
No, all I know is that he was at the boxing academy and outlined the program. Yeah.
Do you think he has been on our show and talked about that?
Okay.
Do you think he'll be brought in as a witness to talk about the protocols and how it's supposed to be run and what he set up? Because it seems like he would be a good witness for the state Commonwealth on this. I wonder.
Yeah, I think anything's possible. I mean, why not? You know, why not?
Yeah.
Anything's possible, you know?
Yeah, definitely. If I were David Meyer, I'd be calling up Todd McGee and saying, or, you know, bringing him up as a witness. Definitely.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Produced, and when all of the pertinent facts and circumstances are made known, the evidence will show that this involved one-on-one consensual contact consistent with established policy and protocol. And when that happens, my client, all of our clients, will be fully and completely exonerated. Thank you.
Lieutenant Penton, is there anything you regret? Lieutenant Penton, can you say you've done nothing wrong? Lieutenant Penton?
She's pled not.
See how they shield her? See how they shield her?
She has no comment.
How do you intend to prove her innocence?
We don't have to prove a thing. The burden is completely and utterly on the Commonwealth at each and every step of the way. She's presumed innocent now and will be throughout the entirety of the trial.
You objected to the statement of the case that was discussed and hasn't been released yet. Can you talk about what your objections were?
I'm not going to talk about what was stated on sidebar.
Are you confident that your client's done nothing wrong?
Confident that my client is completely and totally innocent, and the evidence will establish
Is
that.
the issue with
We'll
the
let somebody
state-
else speak now.
Is the issue with the state
Fucking
police
Reddington, dude. He's kind of hard to hear.
Kevin Reddington, I represent.
You might want to turn on the caps. Cap.
Who I echo the comments of my brother counsel. These, as I said in the courtroom, are good people. They're damn good people. They're veterans. He served in Afghanistan. He's a hard-working, dedicated police officer. And this academy training, it's so easy for people to say, oh my goodness, that was just too rough. That was just, you guys are reckless. This is reckless conduct that they're alleging. Manslaughter tragedies that they're alleging against people that were doing their job, consistent with rules, regulations, and what has been recognized as valid training. And when you think about it, what is the purpose of the training? Put yourself in a cruiser at 3 o'clock in the morning on the side of a road in the middle of a downpour with a 300-pound guy methed out of his mind with a knife coming at you, and then tell me that this type of training is excessive or dangerous. It is not.
This is just like a few good men defense.
Yeah,
there
well,
from
wait,
running
it's
the-
coming, Mike.
No, I
It's
can
coming.
see it.
He's
I
gonna
can
quote
see it. He's saying
It's
exactly
tone
what I
deaf.
was saying. Like that was going to be the defense. It's like we
Yep.
got to make sure these guys are ready for
Yeah.
the streets. It's so dangerous
It's
out there.
coming.
It's for
You
their
want
own
me on
good.
that wall. You
Yeah.
need me on that wall. It's
Yeah.
fucking coming, Mike.
I mean,
Ready?
I don't blame Reddington for this because I think this is the way that they get a juror to agree with them. You know, there's those guys out there that would be like, yeah, they got to be hardcore.
And the only thing I can comment, I mean, the thought occurred to me, and I know you're all familiar
Here he
with
goes.
the movie.
No, we're
Jack
not.
Nicholson. When he was the Marine, and he said, "You need me on that wall. You want me on
Fucking
that wall
Reddington.
to protect the people. You cannot protect yourselves."
But that's
And,
the
you know,
mentality of the
George
MSP.
Orwell
Mike.
or Winston Churchill that said,
Wait, he went from quoting Jack
quoting
Nicholson to
Churchill.
Winston Churchill. Oh my God,
quoting
Reddington!
Churchill, Mike.
Reddington! Oh my God, this is
Fucking
a
right.
classic. I love it. This is why I like Reddington. He's a man of history. He went from
Fucking guy.
a fictional movie with Jack Nicholson.
And then fucking quotes Churchill.
He definitely wrote this down. He was like prepared. He's like,
Fucking
fuck this other
rehearsed
lawyer.
it.
He doesn't have these lines like I do. I'm ready.
Fucking
I'm
Reddington,
fucking
dude.
Kevin Reddington. I am
Oh my
fucking
God.
Kevin Reddington. I get
Fucking-
people away with murders all the time. I got the quotes. See, let's see what
Yeah.
Winston Churchill had to say.
people are able to sleep secure at night in their beds because there are men and women who are able to defend them against people that would do violence on them. And that's what you have right here. This is open season on police officers. You can see it every day.
Fuck yeah.
These people
Yeah, it's
are
open
natural,
season.
these comments,
Yeah.
Dad's comments. They will
It's open season on trainees, you meant, bro. Isn't
Yeah.
that really what happened here,
Right.
bro? I mean,
Right.
you talk about, oh, it's open season, these leftists on the cops, blah, blah, blah. That's what it sounds like there, bro. Well, it was open season on the trainees, and that's what it seems
Yep.
like it. And your timeline that you showed, I see. I didn't even know that a police officer immediately came out that had been through the training program and said that there was racism in the program. I saw that in your timeline tonight, Brian. You get every detail
In that
That's what I like
in
about
that
you.
class. In that
in that
class,
class.
Mike.
So he was with that class.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. In that class.
That's wild to
telling
see
you.
that because you look these people like because Jennifer Patton isn't white. Like she's not white, right? No.
Right.
The other guys, I mean, these people, some of them are of color. You'd be, it's wild. It
Yeah.
still goes on, even when you have people of color.
Well,
Supposedly,
Gianni Baptiste, the guy that's quoted, and I didn't interview him, so I want to make sure that's on the record. He spoke with Boston 25, and he said when he got into the academy, and he was in the same class with Enrique. He's from, I think he was from Haiti, black guy, and they went in there and kept saying, "Go home, N-word, go home." They kept saying it to him, "Go home, N-word," and he didn't make it to the end of the class. He was ultimately, I either didn't make it to the next stage or whatever, but he's accusing racism in that class. Now, the funny thing and the thing that's weird about
say
this,
who said that?
well, he never said who said it, but this is the thing that I find odd, that in the statement of the Commonwealth, Meyer says during his investigation that in this, now I want to start digging into this shit and try to find out. Meyer says that there's no indication that there's any racism, but why would they do that, Mike? Why would they do that? And now you got to look at it and go, okay, is Meyer covering a little bit here? Because if we have racism that's running rampant through the Mass State Police, but we can get past this and hang these guys. But if there's racism still running through the police academy after we get these guys convicted, and again, I'm all speculating here, no one's going to want to go to the academy, right?
the
So you
fall
save
guys.
the academy by saying there's no racism through there. You hang these guys, and then everything's hunky dory.
All
Everything's
clean.
back.
Everything's back to normal. No
Right.
worries. It's just a
Right.
couple bad apples.
But I'm going to tell you, I strongly believe that there's some racial components to this, and I think it's going to come out in trial. Someone's going to say it on the witness stand. Out of 150 people, Mike, someone's going to say it on the witness stand. I guarantee you. something's going to come
You
out.
know, I want to see some type of bigger thing than even David Meyer. Like, I like that they're going criminal with these, but I think they need like a blue ribbon kind of investigation and come back like they do in Congress, and when they review shit and they come back with recommendations. You know, we've investigated this. This is what we found. This is how we're going to fix this. These are the next steps. These are the timelines. This is how we're going to implement it. They need to change the culture over there, and I don't think just a trial will do it. Like
And who
like you
knows?
said,
Maybe
because I feel like they're
after-
gonna wipe their hands of it and be like, couple bad apples, let's move on.
But who knows? And we can look at the positive side in it too. Maybe after this, and after this case concludes, and whatever the determination is, and what happens, maybe that does open up and pitch a bigger investigation. I don't know, but we do know this is still an active investigation too. So keep that in mind. So this still is an open investigation.
I hope something changes.
I know.
I mean, because it, like you said, it's open season on cops. It's open season
No,
on
it's open season
trainees.
fucking recruits. Right.
Yeah. I mean, nobody should have to risk their life to get through this academy.
100%.
Be acquitted because a jury is going to evaluate this evidence and say these people did nothing wrong. Thanks.
Can you want to say anything at all, sir?
I'm not going to comment on the sidebar.
The sidebar was public. The judge said it was public.
That's Rodriguez behind Montez with the beard.
It's not. My guy was friendly with this gentleman, and as Brad said, he's a wonderful guy. These people, of course, these people. David was very, very friendly with this man. Loved this man.
Even worse.
So there are. It's not regrets as much as sympathy and sadness. But they did nothing wrong.
So should anything be done?
We have two more speakers.
The union president's right next to Reddington. Anybody's known.
McKinley, and I represent Edward Rodriguez.
Stop it there.
This is nothing more than a tragic.
Yeah, you can stop it here for a second. So, the union president, Brian Williams, is right over the shoulder of the attorney, and then Rodriguez is right behind. Right behind the attorney. He's a big guy, dude. It's a big guy. Excuse me. Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'm checking out all these super chats today.
Yeah.
All these
They hate
comments
that,
and
Mike. They're writing
messages.
it down. They got the pen
Are you keeping track? There's a lot more. They actually do. Simon. It's just fucking unbelievable tonight. Excuse my language, but I'm a little excited. I like this comment too. This is one I highlighted. I like what Brian once said. Karen Reed doesn't owe me anything.
No,
you're quotable now, Brian. You've started a trend.
They're not going to like that either. The quote. I don't know. Maybe make a t-shirt.
Oh, too bad. Do you want a tissue? Do they want a tissue? The little crybabies. Here's a question too. I want to get to some of these questions I highlighted. Make sure I don't miss them. Deirdre says, "Did the people watching have to turn in their phones? Weird. There's no video from people who were there, right?"
Yeah, I from what I've learned and what I've talked to from Todd and other sources that have come forward, like phones are kind of given and taken throughout the day. So you get your phone like during private time, or if you're off, if you have a day off or whatever, it's usually where you get your phone. So it kind of has that, again, paramilitary structure where they kind of run everything. Phones are only given out during personal time or whatever. So yeah, there was no phones. There was just the one video that was shot on a GoPro.
And two more comments from LG OG22, who people know, a lot of people know anyways, that she used to be with the Mass State Police, and she went through the program. Oh, sorry about that. I thought I had my phone muted. Fucking customer calling me. So she says, ask the 78th, the drill instructors dunked the trainees' heads in toilets. So that definitely happened in the past. And then she also says, what's this other comment? Enrique worked with Joe early, so he had some clout in the court world, and they probably hated him for that. Do you think there's any truth to that? Because that seems like it could be. I mean, I wonder about that.
A lot of those things have been kind of on my mind as well. I know that Enrique in the academy was very proud to be there, was probably one of the most, one of the more louder recruits and boisterous, and wanted to ultimately keep proving himself. So maybe, you look at in the sense of these troopers or these instructors wanted to push him to every limit. All right, this guy is a little cocky. He's trying to be the shining star. Well, let's fuck with him a little bit. Let's put him through the tough paces. And I have heard a lot of that from other sources that have come forward in the academy, that, there's, a couple or one or a couple people that they do pick out and hit them a lot harder through the academy, so.
People that don't know or just joining us, Joe Early is the DA. So
Yeah,
he
Worcester
was a
DA.
DA. So
Excuse me.
yeah, he worked for the DA. Enrique at one point worked for the DA's office. I believe he was a victim, maybe an advocate. Is that what he was
He was a
doing over
victim
there?
advocate. Yeah, witness
Yeah.
advocate. Yeah.
Witness
Yeah.
advocate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely possible. And here's a good comment from Deirdre. She says, "I don't think this was a boxing match. I think it was hazing." I mean, a lot of this
Well,
seems
it
like
was-
hazing stuff, doesn't it?
It was, I want to make sure that we get this very clear. It was a boxing training exercise. So I do want to make sure that we get that very clear. It wasn't like someone jumped in and ran after him and jumped on him and beat him. It was a competitive boxing exercise, but it just went too far. It went way too far, and it should have been stopped multiple times. And I know people speculate and they say things. I know for sure. I know for sure.
I think Simon and New Hampshire dude again. They keep coming through. Another question I want to ask you before we get back to this video is the family. The family, how are they feeling? Do you have any communication with them? Are they thankful for what you're doing?
So like I said earlier, when we first started the stream, I tend not to bother them. I give them their space. I communicate with his sister. If there's anything that's, relative that comes up in the hearing or things that we'll look for, she'll kind of let me know, or, let me know this is, what we're looking at today or whatever. If I have any type of questions, I'll reach out, but I don't tend to bother them in the downtime. If I have some questions that come up before a hearing, I might ask them, but I did get to actually speak with them the last time I was up in Worcester at Lamont's hearing. We spoke for a good 15 or 20 minutes just before they went into court. And, what I can say and let them know, and I wrote an article about this, they're extremely happy with the investigation. They're extremely happy of the legal process right now. They speak with David Meyer on a constant basis, almost a daily basis. And, they've been pretty locked into what the prosecution or the Commonwealth is doing in this case. So, I'm sure that they have, their say in wanting to know what's going on, or maybe, some advice with the attorneys. They do have their own family attorney as well, too. As far as the overall family, I mean, what I can say, Mike, is they're really quiet. They're very observant of everything that's been going on. And they're heartbroken. They're really sad, and every time I see Enrique's mom, Sandra, she always has that same sadness on her face. You can see the extreme loss in her face. And I think that's what's really stuck with me through all of this. So, get this case done. Hopefully it gets prosecuted the right way. Hopefully the jury sees it the way that I think they should see it, and that his mom can start, continuing to get through that grieving process and be able to process all of this, because it's been a huge, sad, weight on their shoulders. And they're very private. They're some of the sweetest people I've ever had conversations with. They're very appreciative of anybody or everybody that talks about this case. If you do one live stream or write an article or anything like that, they do watch, what is put out there on social media. They're pretty locked in with that. And, I just think that they need someone out there that can fight for them, and keep this in the media, because no one was doing that. It was just a quick blurt across the feed, and that was it. And that's why I was getting pissed, 90 days have passed and we're not hearing anything, or there's no investigation. And I think that's what kind of pushed me, besides doing a couple standouts, I think that's what pushed me to do the billboard, and put up the money for the billboard. And we ran 2 campaigns. I had a fantastic manager through those campaigns that helped me, get those billboards put up out in front of Gillette Stadium. And I hope to think that, maybe rattling the cage a little bit did have Andrea Campbell or someone from from that group of people say, hey, maybe this is something that we need to do a deeper dive into. I just didn't want it to get buried, and I felt like that was what was going to happen. We've seen cases like this. Well, not particulars, but things that have happened in the MSP where they get buried and then you don't hear anything about it. And it's like, what the fuck happened?
Time goes on. Kill the
yeah.
clock.
And this was very important because I felt like, here's someone that wanted to come over, better their life and do something and be the person that really pushed the family name ahead, and do something that was, good and prideful, and take pride in that and do good, by the work that they wanted to do, and serve our community. And we send them off to the Massachusetts State Police Academy and he gets killed. And it's like, that's not fair. That's not how this should go. And for me, I just didn't want this to happen to someone else that wanted to join the academy. I want good troopers on our street. I want noble troopers on our street. And believe me, I know that, there is a lot, especially here in Massachusetts, a lot of corruption that runs through that system. But if we can get people in there, someone like a Delgado Garcia that can be a positive influence on some of these troopers and like I was saying, work his way up through the ranks and maybe become a leader in the MSP and get it changed or, turned around and changed. That's what I saw in this story. So.
And that's the thing. You would have been such an asset, and he looked like exactly like what the Mass State Police needs from every single thing we've seen of him. Just even looking at him when you see his pictures, like he looked like
full
a
of
good
joy,
guy.
full of life.
Yeah, like he really cared about helping people. So
yep, he did.
Natalie has a question. She wants to, if you could tell the chat how the family was put on the spot when leaving while picking up Enrique Stings, the media conference. I think you're talking about Joe Early, maybe?
Yeah. So when the initial announcement was made, Delgado Garcia family was kind of asked to come up to the DA's office. And I believe they came in and they spent, from what I know, they spent some time with some of the co-workers that Enrique worked with. And they were just doing, a kind of a condolences type meeting. And maybe had some stuff that was left over, at the DA's office. And then to their surprise, what happens is they come through out of the office and there's only one way to get out. And you've got to kind of come through this conference room and then come through another area to actually get out of the building. Well, they weren't given a heads up and they come through and it's a full press conference and it's the Joe Early press conference kind of announcing what's going on. And you can see, they haven't even, I mean, this is just a couple of days later. They haven't even properly grieved yet. And they were kind of put on the spot. It was just kind of a really shitty thing to do to the family. It was really tone deaf for the moment. They were asked, like, do you want to speak? Do you want to make a comment? And it's like, what do you want them to say? Like, do you want the soundbite of like them slamming the podium and going, who killed my son? I felt it was supposed to be like one of those kind of moments. And they're just not that type of family. They're very quiet. They tend to really, I don't know, man. It's the type of family I would really want. When I look at them, the cohesive unit that they have within their family, they're so in touch with each other. And it's like, I just really feel my heart breaks for them. They're great people. They really are. They're very appreciative.
It's awful to lose somebody so young too, with so much promise, the future of your family.
Yep.
Horrendous.
Sad.
Oh, all right. We'll watch the rest of this press conference. With this,
cool.
This is Reddington really entertained me. I don't know if this next attorney's going to entertain us.
I do want to make a comment here, and I know a lot of
ahead.
people have said this about this attorney, and please, I think that he's got some medical condition, so you're going to kind of see his head kind of moving around a lot. You know, let's not go there. You know, like
Yeah,
this
let's
guy
be
probably has
nice.
something going on. But anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I hate when people make fun of people's medical
Yeah,
conditions.
he might have
I'm
a
glad you said
disability or
that.
something. There's something going on.
Tourette's
But, you
or
know,
something or whatever
right.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
A special independent prosecutor should never have brought in the criminal court. We believe, we're confident, that the evidence will bear out that all of these people, including Edwin Rodriguez, will be acquitted at the time of trial. Once we get an opportunity to review the evidence, we just got some amount of it today, we're certain that this is going to be resolved.
Thanks, Deirdre. Thank you.
They did not violate any criminal statute.
Have you seen video of the incident?
Seen no discovery at this point, which is one of the reasons we made objections that you've heard about on the record.
Why are you choosing to speak with us all today? You guys could have walked away. Why are you all?
The defense attorneys don't have the video yet. Is that what he's pretty much saying there?
And even in Lamont's hearing, which is crazy, I think his attorney said we haven't even seen discovery yet. So, you know, yeah, they got to get on that.
Look at Reddington in the back. He's so
he's
zoned
like,
in.
like the penguin in Batman.
Oh
back
my
there.
god. He is like, seriously, I feel like Kevin Reddington should get a reality TV show or something. If he ever wants to get into the cottage industry, Kev, if it ever doesn't work, if you ever decide that law's not working out, let me know. I can help you out.
In front of the camera.
It's funny.
We think it's important that the public hear what happened with these individuals, how they've been wrongly charged.
What should happen here?
Well, we don't
In
know.
this case?
We don't know. We don't have any information about that at this point. Our understanding is that this is something that will play out in the courtroom, and that the evidence will support for each and every one of them are not guilty of the charges.
Will your client continue to exercise boxing, perform boxing, train boxing, anything else?
He's not precluded from doing that by the court, so he will continue to help people in the way that he uses his skill and his training and experience. As you know, he was a national champion and a professional boxer.
Even worse.
Joining the time at the state police. And as such, he has a particular skill. Look, he wanted to help these people. He wanted to help the cadets. He wanted to help the recruits. He feels as bad as anybody for what happened.
Can you, any of you say at any time during this, are you able to say now whether any of your clients saw anything amiss?
We have one more speaker. Oh, there it is.
This is the union president, Wilson
Your name and first and last name, please, sir.
Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Williams. I'm the president of the State Police Association of Massachusetts. On behalf of our association, I have some prepared remarks.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Expect some BS from these people.
And this is
the
I'm gonna tell
police
you,
union.
Mike, this is how he's been the entire time he's made statements too. This is
This guy's gonna be a jackass. I already know.
Yep.
And they love. It's funny because the previous state police guy, Dana Pullman, he ended up he's in jail, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I think he was caught up in the bribery scandal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't
I
he go
mean,
to
and
jail?
I like what LG said about these guys, like the Pullman. That was his name, Dana Pullman. She
Yeah.
said he acted like an organized crime boss, and that's what a
Yeah.
lot of these police union guys, they act like they're gangsters. I mean, this is
Yeah, he
basically
looks
a
like
gangster
fucking
right here.
Gotti. He looks like
He acts
Gotti.
like it too. The way he talks, he's like, look, compared to the lawyers, he's much louder, much more
Yep.
aggressive.
Yep.
And the guy behind him is which one of the defendants is that?
That's Rodriguez.
That is Rodriguez. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He's the boxer. He's the guy
Yeah.
who almost won a title.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, when you look at him, he's a beast. I mean, I could already just looking at him, the way he carries himself, his body type.
He's a big guy.
Like, why the hell didn't he jump in and box this guy? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Give me a break.
Or just stop it. Not even box.
Yeah.
Just fucking stop
I know,
the
but
fight.
like he could have been the workout. I mean, that's the thing I don't get. Like, just
Yeah.
and these guys, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you got a
Well-
menacing guy like that right behind you. It's like, what the hell's he doing? He's just standing
We'll get
watching
it.
this
We'll get it
guy
fixed.
get beat the crap out of.
Real quick, you know what's funny? Because I know like you have someone that like you can do the tap emojis like in the chat, and I'm looking. Can you imagine at 8 o'clock at night? Okay, you're in here and you're in a chat, and you're probably like 50 years old, right? And you're sitting there and you're going, and you're hitting the button, and it's the laughy emoji. You know, like you're wasting that much time.
I
to
like
come in
it
here
though.
and go, I'm
I
gonna get
appreciate
him and
it.
hit the laughy emoji. Oh, I got him. And they're,
Well, I
love
like it
I love
because
this.
I love it because it just all it does is it increases
It
our
does.
whatever you call it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
the
those
reach.
trolls in here. Have we
But
said anything
Mike, at the end of
controversial
the
to get them mad?
show, Mike, at the end of the show, you got to show all the super chats tonight so they can add them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. We got to add them up. We got to keep track. We got to let the Turtle
you
Boy
imagine
War Room know.
Being like
LTL is bringing in the money like Bettero used to.
Can you imagine being like 50 plus years old and that's what you're doing? You're getting your little stim. I got to hit the laughy emoji. I love it.
You know,
They
I think
hate
it's
us,
funny.
Mike.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And you know what I think is funny is they're counting on money. I love them counting on
That's
money.
why I want you to
Count it
show
up.
the super chats at
We're
the
gonna
end so
count
they
them
can
all
count
out.
it.
Where's Turtle Boy's war room this week?
It'll probably
They're not
pop
gonna
up
count
tonight.
it. They're not gonna count it.
Man, Gallagher.
Speaking of money, I noticed they got really like they were kind of laying off you, Bri, and then you started putting up numbers again, and
the
they got
last couple of
jealous.
streams I made money. They don't like that.
Yeah, they got mad. They're like,
And then I
"What-
show the super chats at the end.
They got very mad. They get
Oh,
mad
I
about
love
us
it.
when we make money. They want us to starve over here. We told you couldn't eat.
Listen, I'm not going anywhere. I just
I
don't
know.
fucking care.
It's so
I'm gonna
funny.
Keep doing what I'm doing. Keep watching
And
me.
they think it affects us. That's the funniest shit of all. Like, we're like,
You're still doing the laughy emoji, Mike. I love it.
I love it. Keep going. I love it. I'm just like, keep going. And when they disappear, I get worried.
Go over. We will not be answering any questions at this time. There is no dispute that the death of Enrique Delgado Garcia was a tragedy. However, the narrative to date has been shaped by incomplete information. To ensure clarity and fairness, the association offers the following facts to be considered.
All right,
First,
here they go.
The training session was between Trooper Delgado Garcia and another trainee. The entire event was captured on video, providing an objective and indisputable record of the events. Second, this was a supervised environment conducted under the authority of a medical professional and a certified USA boxing instructor. Referee.
Expired credentials.
Third,
what the hell was he doing? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what
mean.
the hell was a USA boxing instructor doing? I mean, they should know
Even
better.
worse. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Even
just
worse.
who the hell? I don't get it. I gotta say, Brian, you take good video. This is a great video.
Like
It's
that.
like steady,
Yeah.
good
I like
sound. You're up close. What kind of equipment are you using? Are you just using a regular cell phone camera? You got a microphone? You got like a? Well, I want to know.
I do now have
What
an
do you think of-
external microphone that I'm going to start hooking up, but I just sit there and I steady the fucking hand as steady as I can be. And you know what I do? I don't let any of the mainstream fucking cameras push me around. You just got to get in there and get over them and fuck them. You know, like I'm going to get my shot. And that's what you got to do. You know,
There is a scrum. I've been elbowed a couple times by
I've
some of
had-
those pointy elbows, mostly from these beautiful women in power suits.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? The TV news ladies. They're always
Yep.
beautiful, and then they elbow you. It's like, holy
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
honey! I didn't expect that. The fuck?
I
Jesus, I thought
had
you were
a-
sweet. I didn't know you were like that. But then there's
had
David Beanick who just walks right in front of you.
I had a scramble.
I like
with one of
Beanick though. Beanick he has some good questions. He does, but he'll step right in front of you. He's relentless too. He's vicious.
I had some scramble with one of the camera guys. I think trial 2, maybe it was trial 2, and they were trying to bump me out of the way, and they're like, "Can you move out of the way for my shot?" And they kept pushing me, so I turned around. I fucking screamed at him like, "Look, I've been standing here for an hour. Okay, you just showed up. And I'm going to tell you, I've been here through trial 1 and trial 2. You're only coming here to get a 5-minute shot. So don't fucking tell me. And I just kept pushing back. And then finally he's like, and he just like moved to somewhere else. I'm like, get out of here. Get away from me.
Yeah, move. I'm sorry.
Stop bumping me. I've been here.
Those are the worst ones are the camera guys. I gotta say they don't pretty vicious.
They'll whip that fucking TV camera right over your neck.
Oh, they will. Some of them. Most of them have been nice, but some of them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's watch a little more. I think your shot is good. You got good audio. You got good video. I'm envious. I want to learn from Brian. He just keeps the hand steady. I can't stay that steady. I stop moving. What?
I don't matter though, Mike. I don't matter.
Oh, you don't matter. Yeah. You don't matter. That's why they're keeping track of your numbers. They're keeping track of your money. They talk about you 24/7.
I love it.
But wait, actually, we got invited after all that shit. We got invited to a big fundraiser show on Sunday.
Yeah.
If we give $500,
organizing my sock drawer.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on a cruise with Nurse Kim actually in Mexico. Nurse Kim, I'm jumping in Nurse Kim's luggage, by the way.
Defensive tactics staff are among the best in the nation, and all established protocols were strictly followed. Accountability is essential, but it must be grounded in a strict adherence to the facts. It cannot be driven by public pressure or by incomplete and inaccurate information. It is important to stress that each of these members is entitled to the presumption of innocence. Both in fact and by law today, they are all innocent, and we are confident that their innocence will be upheld at the conclusion of these proceedings.
Is Reddington sleeping back there?
In the meantime, our association looks forward to the department issuing a public statement in support of these members. Thank you.
Anything you want to say with Delgado family? Delgado Garcia family?
Trooper Rodriguez, you want to say anything?
Keep going. We're gonna get Penton on the way out. Go ahead.
So, who was asking those questions about Delgado? Was that you or anybody else there?
I didn't this time, but I got a lot more vocal in some of the other hearings because it was just so.
I like that question. Do you know who that was? Because whoever it was asking a good question there. Yeah. And they turned away.
It's funny in the perjury hearing with Penton after I
heard that. I saw that
question, and he got spooked. He was.
I saw that one. Yeah. See, I did see that video. That was a good one. You did ask it. But I'm surprised they didn't even say anything. They said nothing. They turned their back as soon as that question was asked.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd say, we feel bad for the family. You'd think they'd just say that.
This is the disrespect. That's the disrespect that the Delgado Garcia family's getting from these guys. Look.
Turn your back. That's just cold.
Yep. But we're going to see Penton on the way out. Wow. Oh, yeah. Fucking million doing that.
Steve Cooper. Is that our boy Steve Cooper over there? Is that Steve Cooper?
Yeah. Yep. We know who did it, Steve. Karen Reed.
Did you see the video? Yeah, did you see the new video? He's asking, I don't know, it looks like the mother of somebody who did something crazy. I don't even know what they did. But he's walking along asking, like, do you have any comment? And she's like, and she just goes nuts. It was so funny. He's like, and he just kind of like he moves like another foot with the mic, and that's it. And he just stops. It's just fucking funny. It's like I've never seen someone do that, but it was. Oh my God. I was like, that would be my mother. If I did something wrong and the press was asking my mom a question, that would be my mom. You don't fuck with my mother. She will scare the shit out of you. Yep. She will do what that lady did. I was like, that lady is my mom. So funny.
It's Penton leaving. Here we go. Watch the protection around her. Look.
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me.
See, they got the umbrellas up. Look. Thanks, Viper.
Stop the wall, please. You don't really want to be
Enrique.
Justice!
Justicia! Justicia!
Say his name!
Peter Murphy.
Justice for Enrique!
So they yell injustice in Spanish.
If it wasn't raining, they had the umbrellas up, huh?
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, man. Like a wall, you know? Big blue wall.
But you don't follow them back to their cars?
No, they kind of hung out in the parking lot for a little bit afterwards, but I kind of stopped where the media stopped, you know. But on the other video,
Can't hear you now. You muted, or is it my mic? My headphones?
Can
Oh
you
no,
hear me
you're
now?
back.
Okay. No, I kind of stopped with a mainstream media stop, but they were hanging out in the parking lot for a little bit. But during the perjury hearing, I followed Penton all the way out through the parking lot, and there was a fucking guy there. He was great. He's like, "You motherfuckers, you fucking killed him. You fucking killed him." And just going after him. Oh yeah, you fucking our First Amendment. I got my First Amendment. Fuck you.
Looked like there was a large group of people there for Enrique that day. huh?
Massive. Yeah, massive support. Yep. But that's the case, man. And June 16th will be the next hearing. I think it's only going to be attorneys. That's going to be one of the pre-trial hearings. But I'll keep everybody informed, of course. So we got a little bit of a lag, about another month before some action in this case.
When do you expect this to go to trial?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping the fall, but they could push it to spring, so it could be like March, you know. But we have to see what happens. And then, they're still getting discovery. The defense is still getting discovery right now. It's going to depend on when they start looking at discovery. 350 pieces of evidence. I think that's a lot of evidence in a case. And then you got to start thinking, if it's so compounding and their lawyers don't think that they're going to be able to obviously defend against it, do we see some type of plea, or do we see someone roll over in this group? That's kind of what I'm watching for. And it's funny, when I was talking to the Delgado Garcia family about this, that's kind of what they've been wondering, who's going to be the first one that rolls over, and I'm sure that's probably, some stuff that they've discussed, in their group, so we'll have to see. Because I think they got the goods on everybody in this. I think this is looking the way that Penton's been fucking looking coming out of court, her face like that.
She knows. She knows.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost feel bad for them. I mean, I can't because they didn't care, obviously, but
I don't feel bad. They had multiple opportunities, Mike,
I know.
to stop this, and they didn't. They had multiple opportunities to evaluate Enrique Delgado Garcia after many complaints, after recruits came and gave them heads up. Even they knew, in things that were going on with him, and they didn't evaluate him properly. They allowed him to continue to go through the program and fight against the most skilled fighter, which should have not happened, and that ultimately, led him to the death. But not only that, the fact of the thing that Penton, according to the Commonwealth, knew this information. She allegedly lied during her interview, and then allegedly lied to the grand jury as well. That's why she's facing perjury. And then you look at Lamont. Lamont goes back and allegedly edits the lesson plan to make it look like the unauthorized match on that Wednesday was part of the program, and it wasn't. So why would you do that? Why would you? Yeah,
that's the cover up.
That's
what it even screws them even more now. I think that's what's going to be hard to get out of.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have these hearings coming up in June. Hopefully, it happens in the fall. We'll see what happens. Anything else that we didn't get to touch on tonight with my chattiness about music and
Yeah,
things?
again, there's a case, and I really would love, everybody that's either watching now or watching back on replay, the case out of Rhode Island, and this young man here is a very similar case to Enrique Delgado Garcia. His name is Chiron Lopes. His family is so nice. His mom is great. I've had some conversations with her, and it's a very similar situation to Delgado Garcia's. He went off to be a Rhode Island Capitol Police. He was rushed to Rhode Island Hospital with bleeding on the brain, with a leg injury, with organ failure. And they tell the family that he had a panic attack. But I don't see how you have a panic attack and have all these injuries that are medically documented on his medical records from the hospital. It's been over 138 days. There's still no medical examiner's report. And the thing that I don't like is that the Rhode Island State Police are investigating this case, not an independent entity like David Meyer in Enrique's case. And I've been calling on the governor, Dan McKee. I've been calling on the Attorney General, Peter Najera, to step up and do the right thing for the Lopes family and get an independent investigator that can go in and look at this case and determine what happened to Chiron Lopes, and hopefully bring, people that are responsible for what happened to him to justice in a case like this as well. I do know the Lopes family came up actually to that hearing. So it's crazy. Annette, Chiron Lopes's mom, came to this hearing because the case is so similar. And by the powers that be, she reached out to me the next day and started telling me about her son's story. And, I've been doing some advocacy work for them. Look, I'm a little channel, but if I can keep rattling the cage, maybe someone will see this, and maybe this will get some eyes on Chiron's case as well. And maybe we can be in a position like this a couple of months from now, where we hear an independent investigator is looking in this case. Do the right thing, Peter Najera. Do the right thing. You're the Attorney General of Rhode Island. Do the right thing and get an independent investigator on this case. Don't let the Rhode Island police, state police, investigate this. You've got to do the right thing for this family. Get someone that's independent.
Like, remove the conflict of interest. I mean, that's just, come on.
Yeah.
Don't let the,
and that's the thing with Meyer. I mean, Meyer,
yeah.
That's the thing with Meyer. Meyer, when he came in and looked at this, I had no agenda. I just wanted to go in and find the facts in this case and come back and complete my report. And this is it. And it was enough to go in front of a grand jury and pull charges on these guys. According to the Commonwealth, they fucked up. And hopefully there's consequences for it, in my opinion.
I keep coughing tonight. Viper says you two should do this more. You complement each other very well. I think it's a good idea, especially since all the. I mean, we've had over 30 super chats tonight.
Mike,
or 29
super chats up.
29. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them all. I'm going to show them all when you leave, Brian. You can count 29 super chats tonight. I think we may have to do this more often. Brian, would you come on my channel more often? I'm asking you.
Of course. I've been saying this. We should do some shows together. We got good chemistry. Tonight, I'll be honest with you. I haven't done a show with you for a little while. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm kind of nervous. And it was like a hangout, dude. Like we just hung out.
It's just chilling. Just chilling.
And
I was a little worried too. I was like, I hope this goes well, because I like Brian. I don't want him to think I'm like, I fuck up shows sometimes because I'm not like the best, I'm not as slick as you. You're like, your show looks so good and perfect. Like I dream, I fantasize making enough money that I could hire Brian, have Brian come down to my studio and set it up and make it look as nice as his. But someday, if I'm rich, if I
they're
hit
gonna
the mega
pick on us,
bucks,
Mike. We're the Neon Twins. They call us the Neon Twins because we got the neon light. I like it.
We have lights. We have lighting.
Yeah, I like it. Who
calls us that? That's a new one. I haven't
That's
even heard
the new one. We're the Neon.
Who said
Twins.
that? We're the Neon.
They all
Twins?
the haters. The haters, Mike. The haters.
That's the thing. They focus on the stupidest shit. The superficial shit. Like,
please,
you mean
we're
the guys with the balls to not give a fuck about your freaking little cult and all your money and all your fucking views? That's what they should be saying. Instead, they
How about
pretend that
this?
we're the crybabies, that we're the wimps, that we're babies, and they're the biggest fucking. I mean, there are some names we're not going to say because they'll cry.
I'm
They'll be
gonna
like,
say it.
"Oh, you're picking on our people," but there's some real coward bitches in this. Like these are people that like put their finger on the wind, deciding on like where they're going to cross the street. Like they are
Love it.
like I can't fucking do this. Like I can't do this show because somebody might get mad at me. Like we have some real, and you know who I'm talking about. We're not going to say any
Of
names,
course.
but there are some real coward people in this thing, and
Yeah.
they worry about us fucking. They call
I
us
love it.
neon. Like, come
We're
on,
gonna be the topic of conversation tomorrow. I love this.
let them. I
love
just think
it.
it's funny as hell because they call
Play
me
my
Cryfin,
show.
and their
Play
hero
my
got caught
show.
crying on the floor. You'll never come out a video of me crying on the floor. You could cut off my fucking leg and I won't be crying on the floor. And you call me Cryfit. Because you're crying. That's the fucking funniest thing to me is that these people that they cry about what I'm doing, they call me Cryfit
Love
because I
it.
made him
I
cry.
love
I made him
it.
cry. And you'll never get a video of me crying on the floor.
Like
You'll
the
never
one-
get that. The last time
Like
I cried, was when the Patriots lost to the Bears in the Super Bowl. How many years
like
ago was
the,
that?
like the person earlier that just hitting the the laughy emote. They're just freaking out. I love it.
Yeah,
love
they're
it.
like, Turtle, please, Turtle, say my name on your show. Give me a wrench. I'm gonna sell out Mike for a wrench. Like, there are people out there that like that. They like fucking
love it.
sold out a
love
friend
it.
for a fucking wrench. Like that's how desperate some of these people are. I would never give up a friend for a fucking wrench.
No, I wouldn't.
And you don't get a second shot at friendship with me. That's the thing. Like, But anyway,
This is a good show. It was a good show.
We had a good show, and I got some
Thanks
shit
for
out.
having me.
And you're just laughing. I love that Brian's laughing. He's not
I
saying
don't
anything
care.
controversial. I'm
Play
the
my
one
show,
tonight.
please.
I
Play
know,
my
I know.
shows. I found out there's one of them, right? This is how sick this fucking person is. And I love it because I know they're watching. I know you're watching. But they get they have a membership, paid membership to my YouTube channel. And then they go back through all my old memberships and bring it up on their channel and they just talk about me. I love it. I'm so in your fucking head. So in your head.
They have no content. Why we're moving on. Why we're proving that we're actually about justice. That's the funniest shit.
Too.
At one point, one of these clowns said I was dangerous. I was dangerous because of Juna Perkins being in the. I'm like, I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous. This is fucking hilarious. They are fucking so delusional. So delusional. I love it. I want to let you go, Bri.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep going, and I don't want you to have to. Thank you for being here. LTL Media. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, support. Send him all the super chat love, please. Thank you so much, Brian.
Chats, Mike, because I'm gonna write them down when I leave.
You better write them down. Keep track of them.
Tally them up.
You can
all right,
make sure you post it up on your Twitter and say, Mike said I bring more super chats in than Betterell. Get Sanchez on that.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you, letting me come on. It was a great hangout tonight. And we'll do another one of these soon, whenever. Just let me know.
Thank you so much, Brian. Brian from LTL Media. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk very soon. It was great. That was so good tonight. Thank you, Brian from LTL Media, for being here tonight. Fucking great. That was a good show. That was fun. I do got to go. Someone said I got to go get high. I do got to do that. But first, I got to call a customer back. This customer kept calling me. He's last minute Charlie. He's calling me to walk his freaking dog tomorrow. My busiest day. He calls me twice. I got to call him back. Fucking A. Because I want to go off. I'm on a roll tonight. These spineless little fucks out there. And don't think we won't remember how spineless some of you fuckers were. It's funny how you think you have us all on the ropes. Time, you're going to have a problem with Father Time over time. I'm telling you right now. Some of you spineless little fuckers. And you know who I'm talking about. I want to thank Brian from LTL Media. The only thing I wasn't happy about is I wanted him to do a glare impression. His glare impression is hilarious. I should have got him to do that. I want to thank, actually, we had a couple, this is amazing. We even had a Venmo and a Cash App tonight. Holy shit. I want to thank Deirdre for sending us a Venmo tonight. Let me just get it up. She says, great show with Ryan. She said $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Deirdre. She's the best. I want to thank her so much for watching tonight and sending super chat. I think she also sent a Venmo and a super chat. She doubled up. Really appreciate that. Also, we had Bernadette B sent $5 as well tonight on the Cash App. Thank you so much, Bernadette. I want to thank all of these Venmos, starting with Simon, LG, OG22. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chat tonight, LG. It's funny. I love when you send us super chats, LG, but I feel a little guilty because I'm like, those could be going to the dogs. I want to be sending you money. We love what you do for the dogs. Wait, what? True Crime says justice for Enrique. Thank you so much. Wait, what? True Crime. Thank you again, Simon. And thank you again, Simon. That's why we're doing so well tonight. Simon's been kicking in a lot tonight. I also want to thank Sheila True Crime. Sheila True Crime chat tonight. She said he makes money when he mutes people to feel sorry for him. You have a wrench. You're not supposed to expose my little schemes. That wasn't even a super chat, but I thought it was funny. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for exposing me. I'm such a bad person. Simon again. BB. We love BB. He's a local guy who lived right next to you know who. BB, we love you. Thank you so much for being here, BB. BB Egan. And Natalie. Thank you, Natalie Diana. Natalie Diana. Thank you so much. Simon again. Simon's killing it tonight. Simon's been here all night. He's been killing it. Rando supporter, another great supporter. Thank you so much for being here. Rando, Simon, you guys just kept coming through. I love it. Deirdre again. Oh, there's my number one mod, Sarah. She's had enough of my sass tonight. And this is for the TB War Room. Hilarious. I want to thank you, Rose, for being in on this tonight. And Out Loud with Kylie. And New Hampshire dude coming through with the 50. That was the biggest one tonight. The 5 pounds from Simon as well. LG again. She came through quite a few times today. This is awesome. Aiden wanted me to send this. I like this too. Aim, turn right. Someone said tonight that she proved she's not Karen Reed because people used to say she was Karen Reed. I think she's proved it because she's already been on some spaces and used her voice, so people know it's not Karen. I knew it the entire time. It wasn't Karen. But because 1999 pounds came through, another proof of life that she's not Karen Reed. Because you only can send pounds if you're from the UK, right? Nicole, thank you so much for becoming a new member in the memberships tonight. And again, New Hampshire dude and Simon. It's all Simon tonight. Simon is the one-man wrecking crew over here. It looks like I was being dishonest, actually. It was only 28 super chats. It wasn't 29. It was 28 tonight. Because I had this one starred as well. Sarah says, has anyone seen What the Duck lately? I miss her. I haven't seen her. That's a good question. I do miss What the Duck. Where is What the Duck? We miss What the Duck. Simon says it's back. Yeah, Simon is bringing it for us. Oh, you didn't quit? That's good. Make sure you subscribe and follow LTL Media. We had it pinned in the chat. I just want to make sure it's pinned in the chat right now. And I'm also going to, on the replays, when people watch this later, is it pinned in the chat? I thought you did pin it. Tell me I did. Oh, damn. I thought I pinned it earlier. It's not pinned. I'm missing it. You know what? I'm going to pin it right now. Never too late. I thought we pinned it earlier because I remember Sarah shared it. I thought I pinned it. I gotta make sure I pin it, especially on the. I'll make sure it's in the replay definitely. But I'm gonna throw it in the chat right now for whoever's still here. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Follow Brian from LTL Media. He brings the content. I mean, you can see how passionate it is, how much time he puts in. Somebody said, "What the duck is good." Natalie just said that. Thank you, Natalie, for letting us know what the duck is doing good. Natalie just said. Oh, it's still pinned? Okay. It is pinned. Thank you so much. I don't know why it's not showing it's still pinned, but it is. Maybe it's my phone issue. Cool. All right. I should get going before I get any more super chats. I do have to call that customer. He's going to be calling me again. It's relentless. We are. It is actually 30 now. We're up to 30. Thank you so much. Oh my God. You guys are making me blush tonight. And I got a Venmo and a Cash App. Oh, holy shit. Thank you, Natalie. Natalie D. Natalie D, let us know what the doc is doing fine. She's just a busy mom. Thank you so much, Natalie D. It's funny. I used to think Natalie Diane was Natalie D. I got them mixed up. It's funny. All right. I think it's time to wrap it up. I will see you probably tomorrow. I think I'm going to cover, I think there's a Karen Reed hearing tomorrow afternoon. I'm probably going to record it. They don't let us stream it, so I record it and then put it out. I don't know why we have to do it that way, but that's probably how I'll do it. There may be some other content I want to catch up with too. So I might be doing some type of stream tomorrow night, maybe. Definitely Friday night. We have a show with Nan Gallagher, attorney Nan Gallagher. We haven't even posted it up on our YouTube, but look for that. Friday at 5:30. Yeah. You want me to check my phone after the stream? What about now? What do you got for me, Sarah? I'm laughing. That's funny. We'll talk soon, Sarah. No, not now. I just read it. All right, I will talk to you all soon. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Brian LTL Media. Make sure you follow him, subscribe, like him, follow him. Follow him on Twitter. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching, sharing, supporting the super chats, especially. But all of you who have been here, all the great comments and questions you had tonight, thank you so much. Thank you to my mod team. I love our mod team. We'll see you soon. Peace out, jerks. Thank you so much for keeping us going. You're keeping the lights on over here. It's unbelievable. Take that, Turtle Boy War Room. I need my $500 so I can go be a guest on a show of a guy who's been bashing me for the last 6 months. And delusional. All right, I'll see you everyone soon. Have a great night. Peace out. Peace out, jerks. Thank you.